you put your mind to doing whatever you want to do, you know, good things can happen. You know, so before anything else happened with Michael Jordan outside of that game and, you know, against you guys, that shot gave me the idea that I could be better than what people think, and I can, you know, surpass any expectations that I may have for myself.
Najjači na sceni, kakor Jordan na igrišču. ScorpLZ zabija, zdaj vsi sledimo bistvu. Hočeš šejtat, sam jaz bi raj premislil, ker tukaj so številke in to ne sam na listu. Vsi smo čist povezani, letimo kar med zvezdami, in tiska hoče gor, se ne skriva za predvezami. Res da ni nikoli nam neki došč, torej kje si ti? Vem, da rabaš gang, torej lahko uletiš še ti. To je za piste, ki podpirajo kanal, to je za tiste, ki odpirajo rafal, to je za tiste, ki so vedno nam ob strani, in tisti, ki ste hejtal, ste še vedno slani. Od medalje do nagrad, vedno gremo v napad. Bad vibes, mi ne vidimo, ker sem grejo v prepad. In strah v areni, vedno delamo preplah, ker smo Scorp gang folk, smo bisti za pah. So pomenka za strah, vedno mi učimo se iz napak. En za drugega tukaj, ali je dan ali pa mrak. Let's go, Jet! Headshot, one shot kill, vrtamo čez kakor drill, cel game fura svoj stil, svoj stil. No scope, hard scope kill, vedno na streamu je drill, gremo naprej sam do mil, do mil. Headshot, one shot kill, vrtamo čez kakor drill, cel gang fura svoj stil, svoj stil. No scope, hard scope kill, vedno na streamu je drill, gremo naprej sam do mil, do mil. Furamo naprej in gremo sem še mal hitrej, ker vidim zmago na obzorju, vidim sebe na motorju, sam ga pičim.
In ne gledam nazaj, zraven vašega mena, ker naenkrat pride zmaj. SLO scena, črno-rdeče bela, mir on the wall, top youtuber leta. Ker naenkrat štekam, kile vedno stekam, tudi kaj narobe gre, obljub nikoli ne skenslam.
Oni so hotel videt propad, hotel so videt poln napad. Zdaj tukaj pišem za Scorpa komad, zdaj tukaj koplam za hejte prepad. Rime strelam hiter kakor metke, vse kar vidim so desetke, in ne jemljem ne devetke, ker vse more biti top. In ne pustim, da prije flop, skupaj strelamo močnejš, kakor strela lahko top, ja. Kakor strela lahko top, ja. Skoraj furamo na top, ja. Vedno strelamo mi top, ja. Skoraj furamo na top, ja. Headshot, one shot kill, vrtamo čez kakor drill, cel game fura svoj stil, svoj stil. No scope, hard scope kill, vedno na streamu je drill, gremo naprej sam do mil, do mil. Headshot, one shot kill, vrtamo čez kakor drill, cel gang fura svoj stil, svoj stil. No scope, hard scope kill, vedno na streamu je drill, gremo naprej sam do mil, do mil.
Jaz sem Maco, zjutraj z limano imam faco. Jaz ne rabim budilke, zbudi me moj petelne rilke. Pismo nos, spet v temi tavam brez svetilke. Rana je ura, mal po strani frizura, ampak čez viš na kmetiji čaka del z očmi ne zavij. Takle je moj urnik, najprej gremo kurnik pa v hlev. Na polju delam skozi je del, moj traktor je mašina, peta je brzina, k po nivi orjem, nikoli problema ni z motorjem. Traktor furam jaz vsak dan, vozem se skozi center v Ljubljani. Traktor furam jaz vsak dan, ne me gledat zdaj stran. Nima sam živine, velik je perutnine, manj tudi sadovna, čebelna, tega nima kmet vsak. Mi slovenski kmetje skrb držimo, za kmetijo svojo živimo, kupuj kar mi naredimo in zapomni tole rimo. Pozim se seka drva, polet nabira mrva, moze se skozi, tudi če vom gnoja gre v nos. Dile krmp lopata, to orodja so mi zlata, nabira se solata, manj za biča ata. Traktor furam jaz vsak dan, vozem se skozi center v Ljubljani. Traktor furam jaz vsak dan, ne me gledat zdaj stran.
Jaz imam travnike prostrane, nive so posejane, največkrat raste gor pšenica in vem, da toča je prasica, če ne veš, manj konja.
Najjači komad, chat, najjači komad. Pozdravljeni si, pozdravljeni, kako ste kaj? Živijo, evo, da vas najprej malo pozdravim. Tole ni veliki finale, tole je qualifier 2 finale, sam pač ne moram toliko dolgega naslova dati na YouTube, ne, ker je preveč pozmede, ker folk itak že tako ne prebere. Tako da, to je finale qualifiera 2, veliki finale je čez 2 tedna, okej? Casey Cyber, živijo Tjaž, živijo Supreme, Luka, živijo Savinča, živijo Medusa, NKC, živijo Anej, živijo Tijan Hajšek, živijo Dušan Šmus, živijo Terry X, živijo Draž Krameršek, živijo G-Šar, živijo Anže Pražikar, živijo Miha Marinček, živijo Žan Rosenstein, živijo Astro, živijo Nikec, živijo Svak, živijo Urke, živijo Teze, živijo Stukikin, živijo Anžek, živijo Daniel Česko, živijo Ambro, živijo Erwin Dorser, živijo Nika Burgar, živijo Trikson, živijo Lapat, živijo Japinoko, živijo Barbara, živijo Adam, živijo Nejko, živijo nekdo svojke. Že dolg čas nisem bil na začetku streama tok folka, let's go, živijo JS ali JS Spektrum. Pozdravljeni, kako ste kaj, folk, kako ste kaj? Kako ste kaj? Danes, pač, ko veste, gledamo, danes, jaz navijam za 2 danes. Eden je valjda Tyson, imate tudi naslovu. Drug, za kjer ga navijamo, je Mongrel je tudi kvalil, tako da top 5 gre naprej direkt v veliki finale, medtem ko ostali imajo pol hite, pa so neki reboot roundi pa to, tako da upamo, da prijeta Obama top 5, ok? Jimke ne igra, on ni prišel v veliki finale. Ali je? Ne, on je igral, ja je, kva jaz govorim? On je prišel, čaki, on je prišel, a ne? Čaki, je prišel, zdaj smo včeraj gledali. Zdaj sem bil zmeden, zdaj sem mislil, da smo gledali round 3. Tako pač, da je prišel round 3. Je prišel, ja. Tudi ne, dosti prvoščimo, no, ampak on že to, da je prišel v finale, je huge, pa bojo lahko še Grand Royale igrali. Tako da bomo, da odprem Fortnite Tracker bomo odprli, Twitch bomo odprli, kjer imamo Fortnite stream. Fortnite, okej. Takole, zdaj, če dam jaz tukaj na tole. Wow, kar preskočile, sploh ni bilo, okej, zanimivo. Tako bomo naredili še pol. Takole, okej. Kamerca bo drugač najboljš, če bo tle na levi, če se ne motam, bo najboljš. Okej, danes ni nič na kauču, sem rekel, bo kar tako, jutr, načeloma, ful veliko vas hoče, da jutr naredim ta event. Zdaj se imate tudi glasovanje gore, želite ali ne. Event je ob 4. Zdaj vam bom na hitro za samo razložil hiter event, okej? Kako sem si ga jaz predstavljal. Malo me ga je strah narediti, ker ne vem, kako dolgo bo stream. Ne vem, a bo samo 2 uri, a bo na konc 3 dni dolg. Pojma nimam, v glavnem, da vam povem, kako imam namen, evo, tukaj imamo takole, se pravi, to je točka, okej. Se pravi, namen imam narediti, Jimke je Hrvat ali Srb ali nekaj od tega, no, v glavnem. Namen imam narediti, da v 4 začnem stream in 1 uro itak streamam. Z 1 uro začnem, pa toliko ga bo donacije, toliko bom streamal, ok? Ob 7 vem, da je Trios Cash Cup. Pričakujem, da bomo še zmer imeli vsaj toliko, da bomo streamali tudi cel Trios Cash Cup, toliko, da bo to vedel. Tako da 30 evrov bo plus 1 ura streama, z 1 uro že začnemo. Ko pridem, da streamam že 24 ur, se bo teh 30 evrov povečal na 40. Pa če pridemo slučajno na 2 dni, bo po 2 dneh 50 evrov, zato da ne bo na koncu predolgo, ker cilj mi je, da če slučajno kakšen milijonar ali kdorkoli, nikoli ne veš, če slučajno se karkoli zgodi, maksimalno, kar bom streamal, je do konc počitnic, ok? In zato vam tudi tako, da se povečuje, da ne bo slučajno karkoli, če, ne, nikoli ne vemo, ampak ja, tako imam namen. To zdaj, da je 30 evrov dodatna ura streama, ne pomeni, da mora nujno ena oseba donira 30 evrov v kosu, ampak lahko vas je 30 ljudi, ki donira po 1 evro. In je to plus 1 ura, tako da boste vedeli, ok? Tako nekako bo ta event potekal, bom to še mogoče na community objavil jutr. Tako da, ja, a ne navijaš za Benjija? Benji je že v velikem finalu. Benji je prejšnji vikend prišel v veliki finale, tako da za Benjija ne rabimo navijati. Zakaj ni vaš čal? Kaj me bo oči začela peči, bom dal gor. Skop, jaz bom po prvem gameu gledal replay, ko moram za šolo nekaj delati. Ej, ni panike, G-Shark, ti kar naredi za šolo. Od Jimka da teammate je vzel 200 na cash cupu. A res, spet, kjer pa? A čiko? Skoro, navijaš za Benji. Benji je v velikem finalu, tako da to bomo povedali. Danes ne navijamo za Benjija. Danes, da vam pokažem, kdo vse igra. So, evo, se pravi, Floki, Clement, Deceptos igrajo, pol te Mark, Auri, Artist, FN, pol imamo Vadil, Janis, Nova, kjer so še kakšni tako, se pravi, imamo v stroki CRR Aqua, pol imamo, kakšen še tak, da vidimo, evo, Joe, Mongrel, Veno, potem imamo, kakšen še, evo, Tyson, Chapix, Rizon, potem te Lootboyi, pol imamo Snazy Sky Nate, Hen, Revsgard, Trulex, ko so včeraj zelo klačali zadnji dve igri. Včeraj so bili full v zadnji, so zadnji dve igri bili prvi pa tretji. Evo, tukaj je Fork, Jimke pa Čiko, živijo Filip, pozdravljen. In pa tako, ja. Teli chat. Teli so dvakrat zapored, jim je 1 točka zmanjkala do kvala v finale. Benji Fish ima res srečo, ker oni contestajo drugač s timi, ne? Tako da, holy shit. Zakaj je šel Veno k Mongralu? Ja, ne vem pač, tako je, ni več iz Tysonov, ne? Vse dobro igrajo drugač, dobro igrajo. Bolj dobro igrajo. Če je Čičo, ni Čičo, Čiko je. Bej Čiko, sam Jimke mu reče Čičo. A je Tyson že bil 6. Danes je bil Tyson, a ni bil 5. Tyson na solo cash cupu? Poglej, kaj sem Abi poslal. Čakaj, kva? Mali Buka je nazaj, kaj, kako? Čakaj malo. Rekel je, da... Čakaj, kako, zakaj pa Mali Buka igra? Ne, Mali Buka niso šli prejšen vik naprej. 100%, ne. Ker je bil tudi uncontestan Benji. Čakaj, kva? Kdo bil pa banan, da so šli oni naprej? Pa mogo biti en banan, da so oni šli naprej. Od teh, ki so top 30. Kjer tim je bil banan? A 7 so a to so cheaterji, ali kaj? A te so bili banani? A prav cheaterji so bili? Kako lahko cheaterji pridajo do finala sploh? Do polfinala, to ne sme biti možno. Ok, če bi že na vrc, ne. Aj, drugače pogledamo kam lede, sprav Tyson ima Craigie, tle so te, Mali Buka pol očitno igrajo, so v Steamiju. Nate ima Catty, ScorpLZ, Jinkeva te lende sem le dol. Tole je ponad drugač nekontestan. Tole je ponad nekontestan na finalih, tako da jaz ne vem, če je tolik najboljši draw spot za njih sam, vse kam drugam pa lahko grejo realno. Blumi tukaj, Vadil, Believer, Primo potem imajo tukaj, Mongrel, tale spot zase. To bo še zanimiv, Ni se še začel, bo pa zdajle, evo. Lik začel se bo. Tako da, nič folk, zdaj bo. Zakaj ga pa na streamu ne kaže? Jož si prle, pozdravljeno v bistvu, ne hvali bi za Jošta, lepo prosim v chat, čeprav ga, evo, tlega, v chat je bil kasneje, okej. Ne hvali bi za Jošta, Još pozdravljen, Matt, biste hvala, inteligent support. Oj, folk, zdaj da member only chat. Okej, member only chat, Matt igram, dam stran member only chatov, zato da ni spoilerjev. Pa srečno Tysonu pa Mongrelu, ajde.
A good qual week today. Remember, only 2 quals this whole season, so this is one of the last chances to hit top 5 for so many teams. Lebanon recently broken down so many of the stakes here.
To še ni grand finale, ne, to je še veliki finale je čez 2 tedna. Tole je finale qualifierja 2.
there's so much pressure, and it's on so many different teams. Like Levin broke down, there are so many players that are landing in these spots that have already been qualified from.
Upamo da je Tyson top 5 pomogao top 5. Upajmo. Evo Malibuka dejansko igrajo. What?
Is going to play.
Yeah, we'll see Malibuka landing in right with Mustache right there too. The whole trio rolling by. Also,
to je slaba za Benjija. Če oni kvalajo, pač Benjijev trio ne more po moje biti FSS prvak, če bo kontestanik, ne vem. Ja, Tjanix, pozdravite ti, lega 18 mesta, no, let's go, da ne hvali bi za Tjanixa. What is the support?
At the back end of the desk. I mean, that should be the team that's getting first today, right, Clay? I mean, they have the spot that Queasy kind of just won from last week. It's looking all good, and there's no one contesting them.
It's set up for them. They have the path there. They just have to be able to execute on it. And I don't know if that's going to be the game plan.
Kako stisnete like, če še niste lepo zabrali, tako da ScorpLZ šapu. Hvala.
The big thing about these guys is when it comes to different types of end games or just trying to adapt to different zones, that's where struggle comes in. Sometimes that second surge is also something that they struggle with when they're moving about in their games. But we'll see what actually ends up breaking down. We can see the differences in teams right now.
I believe
there's just
za sob endingi, ampak večina časa ne moreš, ne rabiš več kot 50 golda v endingu.
Seems like they did, and I'm not surprised. Refsguards, to me, never screamed a player that was very aggressive early, doesn't really want to go for that connection, really wants that late game play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the thing is, where is he going to go?
Tysonov trio so prejšnji teden bili 6. Imeli so isto točko kot Runike, so bili 5. Tiebreaker je bil in so zgubili, nažalost.
No questions here at all for Tayson, Reason, Chapix. There's a reason, right? So many people, like Levin as well, are predicting these guys to do really well overall.
God, dva biga gledamo, GG.
They were here too. They had it uncontested. Granted, there's so many elite teams also playing there. On week number 2, these guys are on a pedestal to kind of hit that top 5.
Tyson je bil danes 5. na solo cash cupu, smo ga igrali na trotu.
He's won out of here before. He's won it out of Craggy. I don't think I've ever seen the man land anywhere else on this map than Craggy Cliffs. So there's still a lot of knowledge that he has there, but moving Taysona and Reason over here, I think they needed that time to adjust this season because they're not Craggy teams, and it's a completely different play style. Back in the day, you would see Craggy immediately rush up to that satellite and then over to Steamy or any of those houses there. Not as much this season.
Yeah, not at all. And last week too, Kuro and SC just kept fighting over that.
So Tyson je bil top 10 na solo cash cupu. Yep. Reason je bil 2, Tyson 5, Chapix 6. Insane. Imajo to danes. Danes vsi dobro igrajo. Čilejo.
People that we've seen here many times before. It looks like once again things are relatively free and there's no contest off spawn.
This is one of those ones that if you're going to contest it, it has to be a quick fight. Right, Misty, you can kind of draw that fight out a little bit. There's some other ones as well, but Corny, you really got to do it quickly.
Yeah, Corny usually contested, not this time, where the fights actually are across the map. One of them happening just at the crash station south of Believer Beach. I believe that Freemox team might have gone down with the trades with Marcota at the same time. Somewhere onto one of these crash sites. Exactly, Vlanch can clean things up against what looks to be still lost the rock. We'll see what happens if it is about drive, about power. If he's going to stay hungry and devour, low HP inside the box right now, and Launch really has to go back.
And just a quick stat, before this fight ends up finishing,
solo trio tu. Leggy Spaz.
That's a great amount of finals experiences, and that just shows the caliber of players that are playing today. ScorpLZ is going to be able to pop the med kit, and with that legendary bump, that's going to give them the advantage. Because the other player, all of a sudden now
kartico, ali ne? Lovijo ga.
Doesn't matter. These slipstreams, people are going to find you.
Free Leggy pampa za njih.
Also just has 4 HP, needs to bring 2 people back up. The big bounce back, and now he's completely 0 out of time. That's done for him.
Stisnite like, zdaj imamo več gledalcev kot lajkov, ajde, stisnite like.
I believe these guys are landing a little bit near Holly, so a definite nice third-party jump engagement to kind of wrap things over.
And that's the issue with landing here, is because everyone's going to run a rotate there. If you're landing in this area and you're not ready for that fight, well, everyone else is going to be ready.
Yeah, you got Robot on the south. Aqua will be looking for that too. On the right side at Boney, and then Vidil, if he wants to push down here, that's a big option too. But I believe that Believer Beach fight will always go between them and then the coast on the left where Bloomy's team is. We'll tune back in with the Siptos coming in. Floki.
Teli ima još...
The main attraction, I feel like, for this week. First coming in from round 3.
Taj Nick Clementi je bio top 3, a ne prešen 7, pa je zamenio trio zdaj.
I like to call them these storm surgers, so to speak. Everyone just farms
Znači, en slot na EU se še ne ve kako se bo dobil, ker zdaj sta 2 hita, kjer so reboot roundi v 2, a ne morajo kar v en lobby dati eno igro več, ka pa ni fair, a
Very interesting considering Misty Meadows is one of those POIs that you're naturally able to split just based on how the POI is made. There's a left side and a right side. You don't ever have to interact with each other.
Gledamo direkt tale s njim.
They have claimed the entire POI, the surrounding
Finale vedno gledamo
and now are
direkt
able to just rotate
Fortnite sam,
freely at will.
kaj pač najbolj
This is
zagledat,
great
najboljši
for that.
experience.
Yeah, it's also
Veliko več vidiš.
just the game one thing, because we saw it in the first week too. You're right, that's a lot of chess. And by game 3, game 4, people are like, hey, this is ridiculous. I'm tired of landing in the corner of a closet on the right side of the map. Let me just see what's opened up. And Misty's definitely a spot people jump at. Westguard, though, kind of swapped over to a little bit of the middle of the map, not too far away from home at Steamy. And it looks like they're doubling back, running back home to make it in time for curfew, maybe, because nothing's really gone super correctly at their DOS spot. They have a little bit of loot, some ammo, still wondering exactly where they pivoted to. But this looks like a game they can at least play for now.
Slabe mece majo.
And with going to the Orchard, they'll be able to. Luckily, Saul Rescard did have a majority medal there. And with this tomato pizza place.
Pa zdaj ga je imel to, ne bo zaboravil, kot da skupaj za Ajto šel, kaj kupte. Evo ga Mongrel.
It should be good to farm back up, but someone we
A
haven't
Mongrel
talked
trio
about, a
cel živ.
touchdown today, Shayo. This Mongrel.
I mean, I think the rest of the community has, so I'm trying to play a little bit of balance on it overall. As Hen's in a little bit of trouble, he should be fine. But yeah, Mongrel, I mean, big questions, you know, new team, very similar spot to Jerk. He was also a little bit of his, you know, this season's teammate, so to speak, right? We'll see exactly.
Kdo je tam malo? Hen je dead.
All the way over at Logjam.
Izkeso ga to.
Obstacles to kind of go by. We're tuning into a team that's actually
To so ga sam polezerali na delač, what?
Obstacles, Hen down. To what looks like
to je
long-range
slava.
fire. You wouldn't really expect it. And they have the reboot, I presume. Just need to go and find a place to get him back up.
No, to ga reboota, ja.
But luckily, with the abundance
To ga
of
komu
reboot
reboota.
in this season, it's not really that big of a deal anymore. You also have that.
Daj, Tyson ga je. On sploh nisem videl. Oh, nice, to sta 2 točke pol za Tysona tim.
You do see Trulix going for
Zato so ga full na delač dobila.
inside of the orchard. So
Ja, ok, Sharks.
But when you reboot somebody, it's always a different person. They come back with lost mats. They come back with a different mindset, and you really have to be careful about that. It's like, yeah, I just got rebooted, but then it's like, you know, you don't have as much to your resources. But teams that are going to be very well loaded up. Look at Crow's inventory.
Yeah, they're on a very different type of path compared to
Trulex dead. Malibuka trio je ubil Trulexov trio. Ne, Revsgard je še živ, sorry.
Revsgard has left the big base though, and he's by himself. What happened to Trulix?
It seems like he went down from the reboot, but we talked about them contesting each other.
Tyson, ko mi prva igra je, dobil sam kill do zdaj.
They still somehow found each other on the map and are ended up taking each other out.
Kako so to stacked igre, to je insane. To je insane.
Unfortunate on the side of these two trios. And I'm wondering, once again, maybe the analyst has the answers afterwards.
Wow, Arx, wow. Wow.
In terms of
A to si da, ja, zakaj nismo šli čuvati vsi počitnice? Ta teden, če ćemo tako najbolj čas, bomo vas polo prašali. Kako to razpisati? Jimke igra finale, ja, res je.
Yeah, it's a 5-minute timer. He's got enough time to sit there, farm back up, grab all the mats that he wants, and just go for the reboot.
Fire sploh ni broken, Crow je lihar zgubil tako 3/4 helta.
Can't say the same for Crow though. The Ox, the company, I mean, when you look at this team, a little bit of experience last week as well, playing over, but it just seemed like they could not.
Pa Juško, kumarce pa ketchup got combo, ne, na seriji. Noč od tega ni dalo.
And you see that with they do have that experience.
Revsgard je rebootu. Trulex in Rizan bo to oba nazaj. Ne, Hen, sorry, ne Rizan.
But mid-tier of the best, right? They're still the top of the top, but when it comes to a trio
pa še tam gor ima loot, ne? Nobeni šel tja gor po loot, tako da to lahko dobijo.
Haven't had as many top tier
To lahko dobijo on loot tam gor,
so these
po moje.
situations are going to be a great experience because yes, look, they showed, hey, we didn't do as well last week, but we're back again. And now,
Pa še Rabel bi pride do tja.
that's going to be Hidden Trulix back in the game.
There's a lot of the chunk splashes to kind of get all their back up into fighting for him on the outside. But if you look at their actual inventories and what they have to work with, this is bare bones.
Hvala sam se koji sam ritmo bio prepazan. Moram se ih pol narediti.
Great weapons. It's gonna be tough. Really tough for these guys.
Kaj još, kaj kašen event? A to kaj je gor, finan. Se piše u čem je event.
On the map, there's definitely something these guys can pick up, but now Clay, people finally based up. They're taking high points, coming to those Floki right below them too. There's nowhere to go to reset the game.
Čet, se vam gor piše, to ni Fortnite event, drugače, upam da ne mislite to. Pač event bi, jaz bi naredil event, vas sprašujem, če bi ga jutra ob 4 naredil. Pač 30 evrov v donacijah je dodatna ura streama. Ok, G-Shot. Se načeloma ne rabimo, da dosti več kaže, ampak vsem. Surge se je začel. Klicaj Surge v chat za tiste, ki ne vejo, kaj je Stone Surge, da ScorpLZ bot napiše v chat, kaj je Surge. Kažem, Craggy Zone, sej to. To imajo zdala. Upam, da imajo Surge, no, upam, da imajo Surge. Fire je broken.
Fire everywhere, and he catches a big pump shotgun to the head. The entire house is basically going to burn down in just a little bit. Walls now being claimed all around.
V tem finalu, ko zdaj gledamo, je reboot round Sensi.
All those hard mats. But almost 300 below, you're right, Clay.
Ja, ne vem kako točen je, ampak so hiti, ja. Kaj je neki z reboot roundi povezan tudi full. Pač veliki finale je čez 2 tedna. Naslednji vikend imamo te reboot rounde, pa to, pa finale. Klicaj Stone, ja sem rekel klicaj Surge, sorry.
They can't really do much. The box not going to be there for the enemy team. Refsguard able just to barely get away from Floki. But look, now they put pressure from other teams as well. This is great. They've trapped them in this 3-way spray. If they can just...
Pač oni nujno rabijo kile tle, ne? Nujno rabijo kile. Below Surge so, pa rabijo mece.
They've got to be careful though. They're separating that team from the team on the hill. They need them to be pinced together.
And does get caught from the back when you're setting up a trap. Sometimes it might spring right onto you. It's Nate's team that's here. The south side
dead.
has come to play.
Sasha Refsguard spit.
Yep,
dead.
That's just gonna get gnawed on. One big shot to maybe get a little bit of damage and
Deceptos pa Clement imajo god loot zdaj. Polhan Volka tle umrl.
Cost the lives of 2 teams. And wow,
Snazy 4 HP-ja.
And I thought for a moment,
Loki's
and Deceptos were gonna go down. There was so much pressure from
Hiti so četrtek pa petek finale
teams on them.
A ja, a že zdaj, a že ta vikend je pol, ali kaj? Matic, finale. Že ta vikend.
And then they took the opportunity and took down 2 essentially trios there, and it's 2 of the big ones.
Pač kje jaz lahko vidim, kako točno poteka, ker mi ni jasen. Za te hite mi ni jasen, kako točen je zdaj. Aha, pa imamo že ta vikend vse, okej. Ful mi je čuden, ker so toliko preveč spreminjajo ta finale formate.
Just like they did right now, right? And then at the same time, Floki come to Deceptos, they're moving the earliest. They might be fine on Surge. They'll let these teams play around them. They'll let the pressure come down and then pick up the scraps. I mean, those are way more than scraps. That's 4 players' bodies. That's 3 launch pads. That's so much that you have to play with now. And as we look at low ground a little bit, we're going to tune into some of the people who like to take height earlier on that have
Janis je ubil Jimketa.
Move around the edge. There is a team that's about to block him off right in front of them after these builds. But Aqua should have a contingency plan to get right past them.
And the combination of CR...
Matica, imaš kaj, da malo pogledam, kako bo, ker sem čist zmeden za ta sezon, sploh tudi razložiti ne moram folku, kako je, ker ne vem, koliko je reboot roundov, mislim, vem, da jih je 12, sam ne vem, poleg česa, poleg reboot roundov, pač hiti so zdaj sam reboot rounda, ne, ali ne?
To the end game with CRR up, it's just such a beautiful match, and I'm excited to see what they can do here this week because
Bizar, pa se piše gor, da ste glasovali, ob 4 bi začel jutar.
He's proven that, but he just hasn't had that team behind him the past couple seasons.
They're definitely kind of beasts, but this week need to change up and be a different animal completely, right? They were here last week. They were looking good. I mean, record holders in the way they take height and the way they pressure other teams. They have to go past and get more records, be more than they even are. It seems impossible, but they can do it, especially with what you're mentioning, the beast on a leash aspect of CRR, the wildness of Fasteroki, the way he takes plays. I mean, they're very individualized. And then this team we're watching right now, Deceptos, Clement, Floki, they always end up doing things together, always breaking
Idemo
things
malo
down
pože 3
in the
kile,
same type of
6
mindset,
točk.
all looking at the same things. It's two very
Čilajo
cool
Surgeon,
flavors,
imajo
and they
mece.
both look to be a little bit elevated overall
Aj se ni nekje
on their bases
proti
on the same
Cragiju,
side
mora
of the
biti
zone. I
zihar.
wonder
Maybe
exactly
tamle na
the
edgeu, na
flash,
hajtu.
what their game plan is for end game, because one of the big things about having a north zone over here, look at what we're looking at right now. Lots
A na
of
mainu je,
hills,
okay.
lots of elevation. If you control height, you basically get to dictate the pace of the game.
There's a lot of open space.
Ja,
as
vidimo
well.
Taysona
Between
tam na
those
levi
two
čist.
hills, Nobody is based up there. You see,
Ni-
no
ni-
one
v
wants
bistvu
to
ni
go
na
there,
mainu.
and it doesn't matter.
A
We're
je tle
going
višji.
all the way to Craggy, the
Nad ono hiško.
fourth most possible zone we could get. We're getting it right now. And what's interesting about Craggy is there's so many spots that you can't just go through.
Dejansko ne vem, kdaj sem videl zone v Cragiju
This
nazadnje.
is one of those spots that if you haven't played a zone
Ja,
around it,
1 uro
it
bi
gets
za...
very tricky.
Z 1 uro začnem, ne?
And then we also get to rename the game, right? No longer is this game 1. This is Taste and Chappies. and
Mongra,
Reasons
lega.
game. No matter
Je
what happens,
pršel
even
tjale.
if they end up choking here towards the end, they
A
should
ne,
have
je, so na mainu,
some of
never
the
mind,
best
so na
spots to
mainu.
control. Maybe they over-rotated on their movement and aren't really in completely craggy cliffs. But they should have a good lay of the land, who's coming in, who's coming out. They have basically the facts, the biographies of every single trio's movement here. And Stacey will survive, had the med kit, and try to get his team as much placement by himself. I don't think the win will be coming through, but it's cool to see what he'll do in Tayson's land.
Ne zi sola. Proba tako narediti, da zgleda, kot da ni solo.
He's trying to get it up there for right now, but he's got some saving grace, right?
Ma 3 kile, to je
Mythic
nekaj.
burst they are, it could take down a person in just a couple bursts. Hey, as a solo, that's one of the best weapons to have in your inventory, other than that legendary or epic pump shotgun. Obviously, you want that, but in a great spot. No one really knows he's there. It doesn't seem like anybody's pressuring
Kom
him,
je
but
buff surge.
we'll wait on this surge. This is where the issue will lie. If he's just 32 above, that's nowhere near safe, and they're gonna have to find more tags.
As a solo, yeah, and there's not really an opportunity for just tags in a zone like this. It's mostly just full-out fights. No one's really editing.
Posljednja tela, gremo do 500 lajkov, ajde, ne pozabi bravo, koliko za ajde v šobu, hvala. In tudi na Epic Games Store, chat, zdaj imate en kupon, če povežete novice, mislim, da dobite pač na email novice od Epica, dobite 10 evrov kupon, ki ga lahko uporabite na vseh igrah, ki so vsaj 15 evrov. Lahko eno igro dobite pa za 5 evrov. Zdaj bo Riders Republic bo prišel ven. Pre-order ne morate tega kupona koristiti, ampak lahko pa koristite
And look at this little sneaky play. This is on Aqua and
Ko pride ven in ga lahko dobite za 50 evrov, jaz sem ga pre-orderil. In pa drugače lahko tudi kupite, preden kupite lahko to uporabite v Epic Games trgovini. Pa mi posebej folk pomagate. Če kupite Riders Republic, dobim 15%, tako mi lahko folk pomagate. Dober špil, ja.
They need to hop in. This is the thing with Surge.
Joe je mrtev. Kaj je ta lag?
Look, this is those areas. You can't build there.
Joe je mrtev,
You
ne.
have to go around. You have to find angles.
Aj slučajno še kakšen mrtev, chat.
But look, they're back down. Link gonna go down. Jake gonna go down. Now
Yeah,
it's all
sorry
up to
about that.
Fury. He's got to try to find something, but nothing's to be found. He goes for the loot, but look, this is an entire trio on the other side.
Aqua je tam na spadi.
This is Aqua's trio that has some of the best basement security I've ever seen inside a building in Fortnite. Fury's making sure that this entire unfortunate surge circumstance is not going to be completely free. He does find one big pump, 45 below. It might save him. Down to 5 HP.
What? A Meister Lichard 2 noku.
Lots of shields for him to take if he gets that finish.
A Meister Lichard 2 noku.
But no, is that fall damage that takes him out? I'm not sure. But a drastic
Taysona trio rab surge, glede na to, da se fajtajo tle. Ampak kunali so vsi low.
Now Crow's going to be pressured and end up going down because of it. And KPI as well.
A samo Joe je dead, okay.
Look at who's going to reap the benefits of it. It's going to be Taysona, Reason, and Chapix. Again, they've got the best positioning. They know
so buff,
how to
okay,
fight
so
around
buff,
here. They know
chillajo.
the lay of the land. This is their game. It is set up.
Imajo en kill samo.
Surge as well. This is it. This is their game.
One of the best things to do when you have a big ground position is try to bully a team right beside you. Crow's teammate down. Definitely a very easy team to manipulate. Watch them move and then move after the fact. They have literally every factor in this game.
Desno, če zdaj gledamo mapo iz te strani. Desno, 100%. Čez Hribgar. Prav desna pa leva, oboje bo tako dost slaba. A se zdi, da bolj tja, v ono smer.
My one issue is their AR, but you saw only 53 bullets there. Untasted. I'm not sure what they're working with everywhere else.
Tak veno pa Monger bi mogel biti če živa, sam ne vem, kje sta.
where that sixth zone
A
is
cel
going to
trio
go.
je
No
dead.
one moving just
O,
yet.
rip, nisam
And
vidio.
that scares me because if no one has moved just yet,
Ajmo Mongral,
it's
no.
going to pull to the north.
Hoćemo te vidjeti u velikem finalu,
Nobody
dajmo.
is safe right now. Yes, people are going to hold it, but that's not really on the high ground. That's
Ojej,
not on the
ta
cliff.
zone
That's
stvarno
gonna
nije tog
be
bad.
skirting around the outside
Ne
edge.
gre čez.
That's gonna be way on the beach.
Sam zikar bo šel pol
A
čez,
lot
ni
of people
šans da
might
ne gre.
choose to get a little bit
Drug
elevated.
moving.
Maybe you can get those low ground chops going, but if you make a
Just hit.
mistake, you'll drop to low. That'll make things very difficult for
Ajde,
those teams
Gishak,
that keep it
tikad.
consistent. Let's see Snazy's POV as a solo player.
Snazy. Kaj, Snazy je preživel un search, holy. Jaz ga je preživel.
Trying to recycle a base, 19 teams available on this beach vacation.
Rab dobiti damage.
And Snazy still keeping the dream alive. MXR goes down. Badil's gone down early, as is Mom.
Ako ti imajo hide, evo Tyson je ob zonu, Tyson ima zelo dober position. Pač Aqua valjda najboljši spot, ampak koliko je dobil spet kile? Snazy carry a team.
That we can see Snazy gonna pick up another elimination, now sitting on 3, still somehow below though, operating very well, 65 builds. Look at the layer changes coming through, nobody knows he's here, and when you
Tyson trio je dejansko head of zone, ker je zelo dober, pa ni čist na low groundu, če gre zone 6 slučajno. Ker je zelo dober.
He went all the way for a mid-ground lair. It is a big investment, still just the 6th zone. And yeah, he has slightly stabilized. Back inside the zone though to see if anything is happening in terms of pressure on that side.
Shut up, search, Tiger.
Getting another knock on the feet as well. Flow is going down to Mustache, so another big clash happening. That's a full elim, and Scram goes down too. He's taking out
Dejansko
big
zone ne
teams.
pula čez, to je full maukar, kaj se to zgodi. Tyson trio gre na hide, let's go! Mislim, da so dobil hide. Saša v stroki je živ tukaj. Nice.
That just leaves Traffic, Tayson, and Reason the opportunity to take high ground. We said it was their game. It's set up with them for the zone, and now they have height. What more? What could you ask for?
Hey, slow and steady wins the race. Aqua, just as usual with Fast Roki and CRR, always like to push their advantages as fast as possible.
Imagine what lines
and
build
tripping over their own feet. The Loop boys are always up there too. Fast Roki goes for a big swim. Zestin picks up a few more eliminations inside that feed, and now this man's drowning. He needs something to save him.
Can he find a life vest, the lifeboat, anything there? No! The shot is going to hit, but it's not going to be enough. He's somehow able to survive for just a little bit, finds this cone.
Oh, for Stroke dead. They're cousin hide, vidim. Yep, Tyson hide, let's go, let's go. Takrat so prepozno začeli dobro igrati, danes če takoj začnemo, easy, ajde.
And Deceptor still down below, doing well, trying to find any eliminations they can. We've got a lot of full trios left.
There's going to be a big stalemate for a bunch of them.
Dovolj so nazaj, Zonker je dober. Ne vem, kaj še imajo mece. Zdaj me, koliko imajo kilov. 3 kile imajo sam, ampak dober. Važno je, da zmaga zdaj.
They're going for free mats too on the other side of these builds. Huge for him.
Nice.
There will be a little bit of pause and pressure for a lot of teams. But as this next zone comes in, we're going right back to Craggy, where the fight started to the main house, and everyone's going to have to move.
Oh, but someone ended up getting a nice beam there in the taste, and luckily team.
En jih proba contestat gor.
A solo, trying to clutch it up, trying to take it from them. They said, hey, we may be in Kragu, it may be your domain, but we want it back. Look who it is. It's
mali buka pa te. Pazat morajo.
They fought in that mid game,
Pazat
and now they
morajo.
want to fight late game for a high ground.
Trying to go for it. Zippos does get the big drop down. Floki is there trying
Te
to
imajo veliko kilov, te imajo 8 kilov, to je insane.
He gets a little bit lost
To je
inside the zone.
insane.
They didn't do a big form of damage, and they'll still move by.
The great thing is they did so much more damage to everybody else than they did themselves, caused so much more chaos for everyone, and they're just
Tyson ima še vedno hide, kar je dober. Še vedno ima hide. Ajde, folk, kako nimamo več gledalcev, kaj lajko, ajde, folk. Vsi si date like, s tem mi ful pomagate za recommended in vse tako. Zadnje čase ful manj lajkate. Saj si date like, nič vas ne košta, nam content creatorjem pa s tem ful pomagate. Hvala sem, ker ste lajkali, pa vsem, ki boste. Ja, Tyson je mrtev.
But it'll be a 2v2 towards the height. Mustache and Malabuka trying to stay alive. All of that Solar squad has basically been taken out, and
Ja,
now we just
2v2
have
so tle
those
zdaj.
height teams remaining.
And they have to go down because it's going into the main building of Craggy Cliffs. They can't just sit there and spray. And Rezon recognizes that. Nice shots there, gonna take him down very low.
Nice, God.
Trying to find the
Ni
shots.
mogel
Will
finisha.
get that one. He's
Niso
left remaining.
zmagali.
No, the clutch is not going to be there. They go down. It's gonna be Malabuka.
Malibuka pa te so zmagali. To je slava za Benjija. To je slava za Benjija. Ok, dajte vsi GG so chat. Vsi GG so chat. Še vedno zelo dobra igra od Tysona. Zelo, zelo dobra igra. Odkole, save. Okej. Okej, dajte vsi GG v chat, stisnite like, če še niste, lejte, 600 folke je, 600 lajkov bi mogel biti, ajde, stisnite like. Te ubijo Benji, off spawn. Se to Belinja, to je... Benji ne more zmagati. To je Benjijeva sezona, ampak če jih oni kontestajo, off spawn je zelo slaba. Zelo slaba. Se videl, da je bil Noah banan. Kaj, Noah je bil banan? Kva? Kva? Noah je bil banan. Kva? Vse so igrali zdajle. Time played 403 dni. What the fuck? Koliko vam jaz time played, chat? Kje to pogledam? To me ne zanima, čakaj. Jaz sem 139 dni. Zakaj je bil on banan? Je to spet kakšen false ban?
Fortunately, they were able to make it in, and look, they're doing what we knew they were able to do. I think the moment we knew they were playing in round 4, we always knew it was going to be a problem for Hens trio at Steamy. That was always going to be the big question mark. Oh dear, is Hens, are they going to qual now? Like,
Ne vemo, zakaj je bil ban, ni pokazal. Ni pokazal, zakaj.
I don't know if they're going to be playing like this. It doesn't seem like they do. They win the game. Look, this is a team that should be playing in finals, and at this rate...
Ne vem, bomo videli. Ne vem, kaj je bilo. Pojma nimam, kaj je bilo, chat. Hej, zato ker mogoče bil banan, ki je veliki finale, ne veliki finale, pač ki je finale. Misliš, da njemu 2 Jurija V-Bucksov ni nič. 2 Jurija V-Bucksov ni nič, model, what? Ok, upam, da je bil sarkazem, sam pomoraš kakšne emojije dati. Aješ. Oj, folk, zakaj jaz ne gram? Ja, zato ker nismo prišli v finale, zakaj? Ok, jaz bom dal tole full screen, pa grem hiter si narediti kokice se jesti, ok? A je v redu? A ja, lahko lestvico pokažem, čakaj hiter. Takole. Se pravi, prvi so mali buka pa te, drugi so, kaj da si videl, Floki, tretji, Mark, Auri, Artist. Oni so šele 6. chat, zaradi tega, ker so imeli samo 4 kile. Kili so zelo, zelo, zelo pomembni v finalu, ampak glej, top 5 mora biti. Začeli so že veliko boljš, kot prejšnji teden. Prejšnji teden so še s 3. igro začeli, tako da... To je neki. Oj, grem jaz hiter kokice narediti, okej? Brba, chat. Vi pa kar gledajte, brba. So štalke, lahko tlebo si. Pa stisnite like, halo!
Look at all that loot. A lot of loot available. A lot of loot available. Look, we can see Mustafa Malavi and Shazo sitting in first place. This is always gonna look. You know, one thing I will say is I typically do get in. You know, I fall into the hype of game 1 when I know I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't. But I've fallen into the hype again. Look, we will see. We will see. Floki, Clement, and the Simpsons still in second place. That's nice, right? Of course, we talked about how good they were yesterday, and Mark's trio actually sitting in 3rd, and they did really well in round 3 as well. So props to these teams who did well in round 3, Steaming to start off the day hot again. But it's all about consistency, pacing yourself over the course of the 6 games.
Yeah, I also want to say Mark's team, along with Ori and Artis, we didn't actually talk to them in the top of the show at all. But they've basically just like an underrated, but not the right word, like a new and developing team who, this is their first set lobby environment. And they've managed to come 3rd already after game number 1. And now I'm with you. I don't want to fall into the hype. But this could definitely be a good run for them, given that they've clearly been playing well across the entire weekend.
Guys, just send it on the hype, okay? Well, you know what? That's what we're here for. Just follow the hype. You know what? I will do that. You guys keep doing you. I'm following the hype train right now. We're about to jump aboard the battle bus once again. That was just game number 1 of qualifier number 2. We have 5 more out ahead of us. We'll have to see how this continues to shake up and develop. But for now, we're going back over with Shio Wager and Clay Staling to take us into game number 2.
Hey, thank you so much. We'll see if that convergence really comes into play, but what is converging right now, Clay, is a lot of beef at the top, just in points. A lot of these teams might not be fighting each other completely, but they will be competing for that top 5.
And what's interesting is our second place team there was in 6th place. They didn't get enough eliminations, and at gonna hurt them. Yes, you can get second place, but if you're not getting those elims, like we saw in the 10 elims there from our actual second place in the overall leaderboard, they're gonna take it over you every single time. So you have to be careful. But like the desk said, consistency is the name of the game. And you talk about tournament management, there are a lot of players at the top of the leaderboard that are just better at doing that.
Oh, absolutely. And especially when you have a home zone next to you, you want to make sure that game goes great. 6th place is not too bad. For Stash Malabuka and Shizo, though, will be that focus to see if they can really push their lead forward. Just a 2-point advantage so far, and things got to a tiebreaker last week, too, for 5th place, meaning every elim will matter right now. Sabahu, Asitam, and TIDI will be rolling in.
Already picking up 1 elimination, and Saba doesn't want to get too aggressive. They only have that SMG. Don't want that teammate though to get back to theirs, and unfortunately they will. Pressure will be there. They're looking for any extra angles, and actually going to find minis up there, and that is worth it every single time you can take them. But SMG 26 bullets really has to rely on their teammates to push up. As you see, Tidy does have a shotgun, does have builds to really get aggressive, but these are one of those spots, again, it's like Steamy. It's very awkward to fight in. It's also very awkward to defend. You have to break all the walls around you, but then everyone's going to know where you are.
That's minimal mats. It's kind of scuffed. Basically like a boxing match, but with no ring, no gloves, and no cameras. AKA, why are they even doing it? Go somewhere else on the map.
Well, and we've seen there's so many other places as well.
Got some value. Misty's kind of open, you know? Definitely contestable. But sometimes you got to send a message. The Tidy will take a long time sending that message. Might be at a disk station, but looks like the cellular data might not be getting that entire SMS across. We'll get our own little message coming in, Clay. That Mustache Malbuka Shizo still on top. That 2-point difference is with Floki Clement Deciptos. Mark, Artis Ori, Lizen as well with Eric, and who were low ground the last game, are going to be a part of the conversation. And Jose Crow and Deox are there too.
And this is why this fight is awkward, because it's always going to be drawn out. No one wants to hop in because of these doors. You can't really build around. There's frames that you can't get rid of unless you pickaxe them just perfectly. But Top is going to go in. Tidy trying to go for it as well, but now they're going to even the fight now down to a 2v2. But no, going for the finish is going to take them down. Unfortunately.
Evo me, moram dati hitar, member only chat gar, hitar, da ne bo spoilerjev. Members, evo. Memberi, ja sem kaj zamudil, Ajde, damo bolj na glas.
The crucial one, and unfortunately going to fall down. Zone's not here. They've lost their teammate. It's going to be awkward.
Juško ubija. Ovo čak da umre. Znači nisam zamudil, okej. Onda imate vi tudi kokice.
The open formats right before this. Getting a little bit of a leg knocked off while they're trying to get their game started. They'll be right back, no issues. This is also the trio that kind of changed last game so drastically. Backfees, Zest, and Haijo pushed height when Aqua had it, and you know, completely changed the game.
What is his loot?
Južko, ko ti not prišla, če imaš steko gor, what?
I'm sorry. Is there something I'm missing out on here? It's Stealthy. I know it's one of my favorite POIs, but a legendary AR and a legendary pump. I love this.
Lete, en trio ne igrače. Kjer trio je to?
It just seems like
A dejansko to Aqua, nisem nova pa te.
I definitely have the firepower, but when it's on this trio, they're so passive. They don't really like taking fights with other people unless it's very pre-planned.
Imaš Kostan, nice.
Advantageous for them. The loot never matters that much. If you're not box fighting, then you know the pump isn't going to be the biggest difference. They're just looking for that maximum damage. When it comes to endgame, though, when they will contest height or maybe try to knock off another team on their mid-ground layer, that's where things end up changing a lot. But they'll take their time getting this game going.
And I think Stealthy is one of these POIs that has actually really benefited from the floor loot change, because there's just so many more chances for floor loot to come through for Stealthy, and you're seeing it in terms of loot here. No, I feel like no matter what trio we see, they land here, and I mean, just look at what they have. They're max on shield all the way around. And I like that zone is just now moving. Considering everyone else is still looting up in their POI. Look, they're the first ones to move. And we talk about teams and empty spaces. Look at the bottom left-hand corner of that map. Sludgy was very minimally hit. Weeping Woods was hit as well. There's not really much. There's that big hill below the convergence, not hit as well. But look, they know, hey, we've got to rotate early. We've got to go get those bags. That's what they're doing, and it's great to see because look at their path in. They're going to go all the way to the middle of the map, seeing essentially one team.
They'll have their focus locked in, and one of the big things and the big differences from
Taysona je prvi game drugi, ampak Poliziti so šele šesti, ker so imeli malo killov, mislim 4 killov so imeli.
As a result, they got to pick the spots they were in. A lot of them did well, and one of them ended up inside that top 5. Look at this checkpoint, not the most friendly. Don't want to check your passports or your identification. They just want to shoot, ask questions later. Loot Boys will skip that completely. We'll go back to that point about the south in a little bit. Zohan Taki having a fight.
Let's go, XT. Kolegice, God se strinjam.
Of the map. This is the northwest.
Oh, like that is a double 3 killer.
Kind of links Pleasant Park, Coral Castle, and Salty Stronghold. Anyone literally ends up here, Clay. I've seen people who land at retail somehow end up here in the first zone to fight. It's like, it's the place to be if you need surge, if you don't have items, if you're a solo player trying to clutch your arena games, or even inside the FNCS qualifiers. This is crazy.
Well, and you see it now with Coral. Coral's team coming over, Link, Fury, and Xavier Jake want to be involved. And this is one of the reasons that Coral is actually a little bit more viable this season, because you can rotate there. The thing with Coral, it was always there's not that much loot. And again, it's another POI that is improved by the loot floor spawn changes. But now there's rotation out of Coral Castle. There's an ability to get more materials that you wouldn't get out of Coral. Hey, it makes it that much easier. So I can see why everybody's going there.
Definitely efficient now. Before it was just like a flavor thing, or you don't have a drop. It was kind of secondary. Now it can kind of compete with some of the best spots on the map. You want to be able to leave that POI fast, get in a position like those folks are doing right now.
Ko imamo več glasov kot lajkov, chat. Lajke isto lahko klikam, kogar to glasovanje.
Accelerated at this point in the zone, and now they're above Lazy Lake, controlling what seems to be the entire map around them.
Ooh,
nice, Fember. Nice. Let's go.
For everyone. Contested trios won only 8% of set lobbies in Chapter 2 Season 8 so far. So if you're contested and you're winning games, you are just doing something that very few are doing. I mean, it's just that much harder. And we've always known that with Fortnite. We always know going to just statistically do better, because you don't have to worry about those off-spot fights. You don't have to worry about, hey, this team's going to have better loot, or am I 50-50ing this? Am I going to get it? Or are they going to be able to pick it up before me? It's just, hey, I got to play my game. I got to play it the way I want. And what's interesting about Europe, and I really love seeing it coming over from NA West, is that sort of Airwax style of, hey, get to center of zone, set up, and look for tags.
A lot of teams take that opportunity to do it. That's their set game plan. In a zone like this, it's great, and a majority of them are also uncontested. To comment on that stat, those uncontested teams, I feel like, do better when we don't have these types of zones that hone in towards the center. When you're playing off of momentum and they go way off the edge of the map.
Ako je boje reportu na ovaj ne polno da uben. Ma, ben ne deluje tako, da te en player reporta pa si benam. To nikoli ne deluje tako. Kje se to zdaj slišal?
For some of these contested teams, regardless, Snazy, Skite, and Nate. And stay ahead on the damage this time. They don't have to go all the way across the map towards Steamy Stacks. And into 7 different teams to get to actually write their own story. And that's huge for a team like this. When Snazy, Skite, and Nate are comfortable, in any of the trios I've ever been in any layer, they end up playing very well. That last game, kind of a fish out of water. I feel like this trio adapts poorly to different situations, but when they get to set that situation for themselves first, they really end up having a good game.
And you see it with the way they're rotating. They sent Snazy to rotate out first. They were a little bit separated as well, and now they're here, but Sky gonna get tagged up a little bit. As you see, there's already a lot of teammates here. And what I like about this zone is when you have someone sitting up on that Guardian Tower, and you have two people sitting up on top of the big mountain as well. You get so many different angles, you get so many different looks, and all they gotta do is take the Guardian Tower,
ne deluje tako da te M-player reporta pa si banan, to nikoli ni tako.
Towards you, and so you can get back, and that's exactly what they did. They kind of conceded that Guardian Tower. But setting up for this zone, they have priority position. Everyone else has to play around them. Snazy, Sky, and Date, look at how much of a disadvantage they are here. They're not going to be able to see half of the players rotating in. So they really, really have to hope that there's a lot of players coming from that southeast and southwest. Otherwise, their Storm Surge is going to hurt.
Might be a little bit of an inverse double-edged sword, if that makes sense. Whereas, yeah, it is kind of bad for them on one side. On the other side, though, like, they don't have to ever worry about any pressure from the mountain, any pressure from some of the godlike teams that are already set up. Jason Reason Chapix, I'm gonna wait 1 second before I comment on it because always a threshold takes a little bit of time to update. But 345 above, they've really, you know, had good conversations with a lot of teams moving from
okay, Surge imajo, killov nimajo.
Gone well, the business transactions.
A Surge je zaenkrat po redu. Ali bojo rabo še dobiti.
And they're keeping things low key towards the south side on this map. I mean, last game we saw it too. They didn't really stay loud and take things first. They let other people jump at opportunities. And then once those players get hindered, last game it was Aqua, they capitalize and kind of fill in the space that should be impossible to fill. This is a crazy rotation in water, something that, you know, if somebody's gun would post, how would you rotate in this zone? You'd answer with, you'd swim all the way around. People say, that's impossible, that's stupid, that's not gonna happen. They make it work. Sneaky, I like it.
And that's very EU. Right? When this map first came out, when this chapter first started, Left Eye did rotations just similar to that, but he did it in first zone. He would go all the way around the outside, farm up as much as he can, fish-wise, hit all the campfires. But that's honestly such a smart rotation, because if there's any way we could see the entire map right now and see where everybody is, you'll see that there's a stark difference with where Retail Row is. If you draw a line straight up that mountain, no one's going to be there to that eastmost side. And it's going to be all there. So they get more mats, they're able to grab that drop, they can really just get back to where they want to be in this game. Because, hey, they realize no one's going to do this. It's not the best strat, but hey, it's going to work.
Might need to have a private discussion then, Clay, in terms of Storm Surge strats with Fury, Siberia, Jake, and Link, because these guys have been struggling last game a little bit, and this one too. They're really putting themselves out there to get damage done, and they're still 99 below.
I think with them, they just need to be more decisive. You see Link going for it, Siberia just sitting back. Fury is obviously healing up, so they had to take a little bit of moment there, but still, they're back together, and Siberia is still back healing up. If you've got 150 shield, total HP, you should just keep going at this point. You're 53. Okay, now they're above, so they don't have to. But still, 53 above when there's 9 players that need to go down, it's not safe.
To je čudan, kad sam jem, ko sam dosti, ampak...
Man who's saving his team out of trouble right now. Snazy came up another elimination.
Ampak tukaj, kad se še ne dogaja, toliko nimam kaj za komentirati. Evo, Nate Nokan.
As this is going down, so
Pa jaka, ko bi lahko, jaz sem se esvino, okej. Ne, jaz bi vzih reporta njaka.
Fnai and Robon, they're gonna still be here, not a chance to really interrupt anyone in the early game. It'll all be mid-game action. They have a launch pad to use here as well that I'm pretty sure
Twitter po tej igri.
Suzuki just took out Mustache, someone from that team, so that'll happen. And now Mongrel also getting knocked by Scram. Scram and Snazy popping outside by
Oh, Joe Mongrel's to death, no way.
Well, alongside Tayson's. They
Mongrel
have
bo
big
hita igral,
expectations.
ne
They've
vem.
been in this round before.
Razen če res klačajo.
Completely uncontested POIs.
Ta se je double kill, nice. Veno, ja, Mongrel trio, cel trio dead.
And end up top 5 today.
Ta se je double kill, ker je zoda. Chico je dead, ali Chicho, ali kor se ne vem. Jaz ga Chico klisel, se bo sliš.
Most of the time it doesn't. Well, and that's the thing. In my opinion, I would much rather have, I would say, even risky reels uncontested than Lazy Lake. I just don't personally like Lazy Lake's layout and where it's located in the map. And honestly, the loot.
Now,
I like it a little bit more because the harpoons back, right? You get a lot of the harpoons there with those fishing tails. But for me, it's just an awkward loot quickly and get out of it.
Dva playera rapta som reti, ta tim je. Ta tim ima te dva playerja.
And with the POI like Risky or a POI like Believer,
Ooh,
or
buff
Holly,
saw.
you can quickly loot and get out, and you don't have to worry about awkwardly getting caught in a rotation.
Very true. I feel like these teams that have kind of had a lot of
Moram igrati čist bez search plana, to pa bilo igrati 50-50, a te ne pušat. Search je pun problem, ja, search plan u takvih lobijih nujno rabaš met, nujno.
There's so much to do. Snazzy has like basically,
Če ne si dead.
sorry, Scram has any opportunity to do whatever he wants from that POI, and maybe this time, this week, it'll be good for him. Eleni though, lots of damage being dealt right now. I think these guys didn't really have the best surge so far, and past that has been getting beamed over and over again. So Eleni, I think combined barely even make up one health bar play. This is down atrocious.
I don't even think they make up one. I think the math is just not there. I think it's maybe 160 HP. They've got the med kits, and when you're this trio, you just hope, hey, I hope,
Ja, gdje si još?
almost going down there.
O, 3 HP-a, oh my
Very
god.
close. They're gonna pop these med kits.
They
But
saw,
you just
they
hope you
saw
can make it
hard
in and
scuffed.
There's no tags on you. You hope, hey, I've got this 2 shield left on me. Please don't
Skram je
tag
kršen
out.
kill dubo.
But my point stands.
Nego
Look
3
at
mi je
this
že dubo
map.
mangrala.
You don't see
Mali
anybody
bukaj do ponoči.
to the east of this mountain.
Upamo, da mali
Nobody
buka ne
there.
pride
So
v
the
finale,
team
ne?
that
Da
did
Benji
that
lahko dobro igra.
company, they're going to already be set up way better.
O, lej ga Imke na hajtu. Mislim, nima ali hajta. Evo, Tyson.
Might have to wait for just a sec. Blue Boy team completely
Why Chapik stuck down?
He's fighting for Stash and Malibuka alongside Shizo. Hydro and Zeston are fighting Taysona, Chapix, and Reason at the same time. 40 points for these guys rolling in. They're really elevating the game so far in terms of staying alive with the placement. Have a Elam under their belt as well.
Tyson trima dobar position.
And Hydro's still getting pressured. Finally gets Zeston up. Right now, for a lot of these teams you see on screen, Scram, Hydro, people on top of the leaderboard, Floki, Clement, Deceptos, Malibuka, Mustache, and Shizo.
Okay, loot boy pa te je dobar, kad sta Saša 2 živa. To je zelo dobar.
Having a good game too. You want to survive till the 8th zone. Definite win conditions
To
for
je
the
dobro
overall
za Tysona.
tournament. Riding on this game right now for the POVs you see on screen.
Well, and look at how much more of a different disadvantage.
Ja,
Hydro
imagine
is,
Matic.
because they did
Ne,
this
prvo
rotation
game novo je
a little
Rosal,
bit late.
ni
Right,
šans.
Chapix, Taysona, and Reason made that rotation early, and now with where the zone is, they're sitting on one of the highest mountains in the zone. And so they don't have to worry about what Hydro is of, I've got to go up this. There's no, it's very unlikely that this zone is going to pull down. There's still a chance. We've seen it with Fortnite, but we know the zones usually prefer mountains and will go
Hydro je
up.
dead.
And see just how bad of a
Šest
position it is
above.
if you take it too late.
And search text run. No way.
Might be able to drop on the backside and go for that airdrop you see on the south. Could be a potential
No
way to
way.
get out of this, but their mats are bleeding now. This will be tough for them moving through. They have about a third left inside the
Jumko mi je
build.
nekaj poslal.
Overall, I mean,
Gleda,
this is a very tough
Jumko ima
spot.
več preigranega
These
kaj
guys
jaz,
are all
Fortnite. Nova je Ambena. Sam nisem prišel v to igro, ne? To je zelo slaba. To je zelo slaba.
Woo, and Alani able to make it in somehow, but what they're not making is their shots currently is 136 below. It's trending upwards.
Tyson je dobil knock, nice. To igro mora imeti več kilo, kot prejšnja. Reason ga je finišil, nice, ok. Imajo 2 kila zaenkrat, mislim, da.
Below. They don't really have an option. They just got to keep going after Lazen and Aircon. They really have to keep that pressure down. But just look, their Stormster just taking them both out.
That's just tragic. They end up going down. So many different players falling in the feet to the lightning.
Ooh, Tyson
the
na
punishment
high.
for not doing enough damage. Taysona, Reason, Chapix, they stay high above the clouds.
O,
Both
ko
in
imam,
damage
zdaj zaprečujem, ampak imam kogico za
no
zubmi.
chance that they're going to be affected by
Vem, da je
this.
čudan,
They get to
ampak...
watch everyone else
Oh,
struggle. Hen's going to be one of those players. Lyson, who's alive last game, is going to be going down right now. Snazzy, Skite, and Nate, they're finally ahead
ajde,
of
sem
things.
ven. Ha.
They've got everything set
Uno,
so
kaj je
far.
z notranje
And
strani
Snazzy himself,
pod
he's set up
zlesnja,
this
o,
game
to je
really
najslabše.
play. Last time, it was in
To je
by
najslabše.
himself. Got 20 points alone with his clutch. We saw some backside zone eliminations. From 31st all the way to 10th place. That's huge. And this time, he's got his whole team by his side, and it might be even going closer to Caddy.
Ja, ta Snazzy je toliko poklačil prej, da je insane.
For the wildcard squad.
Ma se ne bojo restartali, Matid. Zaradi tene.
Finally get to
Ni
play their
šans.
game and actually going to grab some of this loot as well. They really needed it. You saw the AR ammo go from about 50 to 357, and when you have that mythic burst, all you want is
Kredič,
max
za, ja,
ammo
kako si
there.
pa ti
And look at
kredit
the
vzel?
splash around the backside, trying to stay up, trying to stay on their feet. But my question is, who currently has high ground?
Danes so na
I only
trio,
think that
danes
is chance
dobro
to see
igra.
it. We see Hydro and Zeston able to
Saj
make their
zaenkrat.
way up, but look at how
Po
much
solo
more
cash cupu,
shambles they
Rizon
are.
drugi,
Think compared to
Tyson
some of the
peti,
other
Čapik
teams, 24
šesti.
builds, and it's almost all in
Insane.
wood. Only 3 shields
In
remaining.
prvo
They
igro so
don't
bili
have a
drugi.
lot to work with, and just look.
Zdaj imajo hype.
High ground.
Kako sta te dva če živa, meni jasno.
Alright, so we
What?
move all the way across towards retail. We don't really have to deal too much with how the zone looks. All the comms will just be focused on...
Ne, nimajo
so far.
hajta.
If it does go back
Nimajo
to a
hajta.
mountain, that's 2 big things to take care of. And now, kind of deja vu to the first game.
Tyson treba bi po prvi igri šesti.
CRR, doesn't matter where
Drugi
the
so bili
zone
tako v
goes.
igri, ampak po točkah so šesti.
Now, will they get
Videl, kako bo
evicted
potegne.
again? Is a question, but they're staying hot. They're ready. They got the peppers. Let's go.
Already 4 elims as well. So going into this, there's a very big potential that they could take first place after this game if they just keep finding elims. And this is one of the teams to do it. They've got to be careful about these players flying.
Ta zone ne bojo mogli tarpati naprej, mogli bojo
They said,
pedat.
you know what, hey, if you're launch padding, you got to go through us. And we see everybody going up. Look at how many, it just looks like popcorn
Vsi
kernels
pedajo,
popping up from
vsi
below,
pedajo.
trying to go in. Look, they've already launch padded. They are out. They say, you know what, high ground, we've got to go. But look, there's already a team
Yep.
building up.
Hajde, dead. Tyson je dobil kill, let's go. Čaj, to Tysonov tim dobil ga. Gleda, ne? Tega smo videli.
These guys all the way over on height. Maybe Aqua goes for it again. Yes, they build out land, and now we'll challenge Aware and Karma, who all the way have that height. I think they've given it up. And also launch padded.
Kuma Tyson otrijo točku.
Maybe played a bit too passive. 278 below surge. Really need to find a team and get active right now. If not, it's not going to be players that are going to be stopping
Teli
them.
rabijo nujno
It's the lightning
surge
that
tega.
strikes from the skies.
And they're trying. There's a team on the other side of the wall, and it really hurts to see when there's someone on the other side of the wall and you've got that harpoon, and you're not just going in, you're not just going aggressive.
Rulek se že živ, ako ima
Especially with
spet...
how much damage that
Ako
surge is
ima
about to
spet
do,
height?
you really think, hey, maybe they need to use it, maybe they need to get in.
Kaj
They get
Tysonov
high
trio?
ground going over
Rulek
CR,
se dead.
And for Strokey right now, 33 above. There we go. There's the aggression. They're trying to drop these players down.
Tysonov trio že živa, ne?
Above, they're looking good. They're looking great.
Aj
Even
so morali
three
liko so me
eliminations
ta,
to their
to
name.
kamer, da se ni
Looking
videl.
low ground, this is what you want to see. This is where they could take first, but Mustach, to my knowledge, is still in this game. No, now
Tyson je dobil knock, let's go, več kilo ima to igra.
Just to knock, his team is up.
Taj zdi se mi, no.
We're still very close towards that.
Mislim, da je še 28 playerjev.
Elims might make the difference. Aware taking out an entire trio. That's Ristretto's going down. Erican and Blackie also.
Rizon double finish.
Mislim
Mislim, da je double finish, na meski.
Mid ground though,
Evo li?
very populated. No one wants to touch the dirt. It is elevating and changing.
A Čapik se dead. Čapik se dead.
Fast enough. Hell will be
Ja.
there. With Scram looking for
4 kile ima, Tyson ima 4 kile.
Chapix is down though. Big pump from the size of Taysona. This is round 3 for him. He's been really playing the
O,
endurance
dubo
game
no.
fight after fight.
Jimka ta je
Finally
dubo.
running out of breath now. It'll be just reason to kind of
Naša
push
Rizon.
forward and keep the hopes and dreams alive for this team.
But 5 eliminations going out, he's got to be okay with that. His reasons
O
going
moj
in,
bog,
just
jaka
gonna miss the
neseri.
shots, and that's them going down.
Na,
Only
Rizon
8
Tyson
trios
mrtva.
remain. We got 20 total players looking high ground yet again. Karma, they
Top
took
koliko
it
so
from
bili,
him
tole ni
once.
bilo dobro.
They said, no,
Ej,
we're
so
gonna
6
keep
kilov
it
ali
up. We're
5 na
going
koncu.
down, fall damage coming through ZRR.
Ja, kada non slučajno rezal za zapravo.
The only
Na
one
sceni.
left, he goes down as well. And now it's Zendaya, Karma, and Awar up on the high ground, but second place, the only one in top 4 still alive, is operating with 8 eliminations. Shio on the low ground.
These guys have basically taken apart anyone who's had trouble all the way on the high ground. They played their game very patient from the start in both the first and second. But now it's about time.
Siptos bo dati zdala. Yep.
He ends up going down on the backside of this entire tarp. Siptos in trouble. He suffocates inside
Tole
the
bil
zone.
God
There's barely
save,
even
sam
any
ne
room to
bomo na...
move, but
Ne
he
bi morata dobiti
gets
en
free.
placement.
And now it's him and Clement who make a 2-man operation.
Pol
to try
vse
to save
Clement je
this
še
game.
živ.
And this is where the charge is going to hurt him. This is the moment
Pojde
where,
Sipto
hey,
še
yes, the
živ.
charge was great
Okay, na
early game,
čač.
but look, you're just going to go down and pop. They're all down. They're all taking third place. It doesn't matter. They had so
Global
many
zmagal.
eliminations, but you talk about Scram. They're here. It's a 3v3. Karma up above. Scram's got the loot. They've got
Te
the
ima
load.
8
They've
kilov.
controlled the low ground right now. They've even got a heal-off condition. With
Ne
that
ga
trust
bajco, ne
testing.
seri.
They've got a med kit all around. You've got to assume
Zraven
they do, but
drugače.
8 eliminations as well. No matter what happens, that's going to be a lot of points coming into this game. They were not inside the top 10. They were sitting at 13th. Look at that shot from Scram. Going to be a good amount. Can use the chug splash to get back healthy. Does have the big shield, but what they don't have is they don't have time and they do not have materials.
3v3, Scram je dead.
Scram does not actually fit the height to ride. A trio of power dropping down. Now it's all up to Flois and Hellfire. They both get quenched. No chance. Extinguished.
Hteli so zmagali. Kdo so, sploh ne vem, kdo so te.
Titans inside the European scene. That's a game 2 win. An amazing
Dajte,
play of all
dajte, GG so včeraj vsi, pa stisnite lajče, še niste. Če lahko glasujete, lahko stisnete like. Gremo pogledati zdaj lestvico. Ne vem točen, kako je šlo. Pojme nimam, kjeri so zdaj Tyson po tej. Ja. Vlogi Clement Deciptos prvi, 86 točk. Insane. Četrti, tretji, 10 kili dvakrat. Insane. Od teh so zdaj bili... Ne, te niso zmaga zdala. Te so bili dvakrat 6, 7 kili. Se pravi... Ja, te so zdaj zmagali. Vidite, en win ti pripele full. Ko prej so bili sam 20. Zemu winom so full visok prišel. Majbuka četrti. Tyson je še vedno 6. Bili so 9 s 5 kili, 1 kill več so imeli samo kot prej. Ampak so bili 9, če prišel do drugega mesta bi imel lahko 10 kill win tudi, maybe. Morajo en game zmagajo, pa ga čilajo, hard čilajo. Mongralu gre zelo slabo. Jimke 15. To je zelo dober, pač tako. Da prvič so v finalu, pa so za enkrat 15. Ni slabo, pa sam en game so dobro dograli. Evo, Trulex 28. Mongral 25, 26. Surge ima zelo velik veze. Da vidimo nova Riley tweet. Got unbanned, okej. Tle kaže kao. Da se ne ima, je igral tu igro ali ne. Evo konec, a to je prav finale? To je finale qualifierjev. Veliki finale je naslednji vikend. Ja, a kdo ve točke, kako bo? Kaj sem čist zmedan, čakaj. FNCS. Kjera sezona je to? Chapter 2, sezona 8. Bomo sam tako dal, da vidimo. Čaj da vidim. A to je to, kar imajo tle. Naš drugega. Format, to rabimo. To rabimo. Okej. Round 1, 2 round. Okej, ja. For the finals, semis, okej, round 4 finals. 3 ure, ja, okej, to je isto. Se pravi, v četrtek pa petek imamo hitce pa polfinale, baje. Ja. Se pravi, zdaj sem malo spremenil. 27. oktober. Ja, to je, po naše bo to verjetno četrtek. Zato, ker ima tudi en dan prej. Se pravi, 66, se pravi, dva qualifierja sta, ne? Iz vsega qualifierja, top 5 jih gre direkt v velike finale. Se pravi, danes še igrajo, prejšnji so Benji Red smo šli, Kinzel in tako naprej. Pa glede na točke, ja, se pravi, series points, to so točke, ki jih dobiš s temi turnirji, se pravi, če prideš v finale, dobiš toliko pa toliko točk, če si ta placement, toliko pa toliko točk. In top 66 ekip greva 2 hita, se pravi, v vsakem hitu 33 ekip, se pravi, hit A in hit B. Top 4 ekipe iz vsakega hita grejo v veliki finale. In une ekipe, ki niso bile top 4, se pravi, mi imamo zdaj, če povem, se pravi, to je 10 ekip iz dveh qualifierjev, ki grejo direkt v veliki finale, to je 10 ekip. 3 ekipe so že, to je 13, se pravi, ki so z prejšnje sezone že direkt v velikem finalu, to je 13 ekip. Pa tukaj iz vsakega hita grejo 4 naprej, une, ki so top 4, se pravi, to še 8 je to 21 ekip. Ja, 21 ekip. Se pravi, pa imamo pa tukaj še remaining teams, reseeding to expand reboot round, se pravi polfinale, oziroma reboot round ali kakorkoli. Se pravi, bojo pa te ekipe igrale reboot rounde, a ne? se pravi, moraš nujno zmagati, da prideš naprej. In to sezono je full več reboot roundov. Ja, evo, tukaj imamo, se pravi, 6 iger na riđanje. Vsaka, se pravi, 6 iger je, a ne, se pravi, 2 lobija bo ta drugače, če se ne motim. Pa unika zmagajo, pač ne bojo šli tle, ne, se pravi, imaš 6, to je še 20 ekipov zraven in je direkt 33. Zdaj, Clement pa te bi mogli biti top, bi mogli že biti v finalu, ampak so cancelali. Tako da ne vem, kje bo en tim prišel naprej, pol. Verjetno prek series pointov ali neki morajo direkt naprej eni. Tako da ja, imajo full zakomplicirano, ampak ja, v četrtek gledamo hit A pa hit B, top 4 direkt v velike finale. Pa v petek gledamo reboot round, hit A pa hit B, kar bojo najboljši igri, tako ful so zabavne reboot roundi pač zagledati. Imamo pol finale 33 ekip, čez 2 dni, 12 iger, 6 iger na dan. Tako da ja, ok, to bo za, tako, zdaj vemo kako bo. Zdaj pa dam nazaj member only chat, ok, ajde, dajte vsi srčko chat za Taysona. Dajte mu srečo, pa bom dal member only chat. Da stisnete like.
Not going to be able to do much to kind of say anything about it. They have to focus on their spot, their zone. Fast Roki, actually, I mean, we had this entire breakdown from Reese about how to end a fight fast. Looks like they might have been tuning into the broadcast because...
A nam rata 1000 lajkov do 9.
Maybe even another player from Aqua's trio.
Ajde, že dolgo nismo imeli 1000 lajkov, ker je zelo slabo. Včasih smo v prvi uri streama imeli, ampak lej.
I'm surprised.
Kako naš dobi zmagovalc? Nisem zihal. Vem, da FNCS Grand Royale, ker bo takoj potem v FNCS-u, bo 200 euro na playere, kar je zelo velik.
Again, that's an awkward fight. Boney is again one
To
of
je
those
bug,
guys that
ki
just
kaže
doesn't
0
happen
točk.
quickly, in my opinion.
To je
Yes,
bug.
Reese did a beautiful breakdown of it, but if you're not setting it up the way Reese talked about, you're going to go down like Aqua, and now they're out. 8th place gone.
Aqua je dead.
Very good breakdown if you guys did watch it. Basically, or if you're just tuning in
To je
for this
dober,
game.
za Taysona, valjda. Pač, vsi, ki so na vrhu, ko umrejo early, je dober.
The path the other team was taking.
Razen Tayson, valjda.
T-Chips and company, and got early weapons faster, literally in the first 5 seconds.
Bravo, Juško.
Had great pistols, and got to basically.
Juško, kako ti pride muha v računalnik, ki je zaprt?
T-Chips, they probably spread out a bit more, and got a little bit less greedy. Took their time with the outspawn fight. Ended up maybe getting a little bit luckier than Aqua's
That's a fight,
on the weapons and whatnot too.
That is a fight,
Looks like this time Caddy Corner will not be free. It'll be a little bit more feisty. They'll have to make it out alive after a fight off spawn.
God, is one of my
Enki so že dober.
POIs to
Tam nima
watch
shieldov.
and fight in early, just because there's so many unique opportunities. You can use those teleporters to go wherever you want. You can find shots outside of these angles that you normally wouldn't be able to, and I like the way Snazy Sky and Nate have hunkered down. They said, look, we've already got one of you. If you want to get the rest of us, you've got to come to us.
Definitely, and Karma as well kind of has that entire type of
Okay, Juško.
nuance backwards. He's actually going to be pushing other people himself off of that last win, picking up an entire squad that actually took out Aquas all the way at Boney Burbs. As that fight is breaking down, Snazy's trying to close out on this one, gets a knock on the Tobe, goes for the big finish. This is ultimate defense, right? This is one of the best squads at playing out, as I said last game, their set game plans. And if it's about surviving off spawn, Snazy, Sky, and Nate, if it's a challenge like this, they can definitely do it.
Bag is the one, and I think one of the easiest to do it in as well. You just, especially if you're the squad that lands at the main building, you just already naturally have so many more materials than the team that does land at the gas station. So you already set yourself up in a position to just hunker down and wait if there's a team that can test you. They also are going to get zoned, but moving over, we see another one of these satellite dishes.
Holy shit.
It's going to be Air Kid and
Kar tukaj se fajta, kaj je to?
Down a team who is
A to mali bukatin tukaj.
Another player coming in from Steam. Lazen got a player on top of him, but is going to be able to get out. His
Oh my
teammate
bog,
help
kako
him out,
mas-
but no, down to 1 HP.
kako mas se ni bil prej že dead?
Almost able to clutch it up, not able to do so. Artisan going to fall now as well. What can Blackie find? Can they find Mark? No, not going to be able to do so. Mark going to take him down. It's actually, I think, going to go over as well. Onyx, a third party, says, hey, wait a minute. I see this fight. I know there's only one player left. Let me go in. Let me be a little bit greedy. And now's the time to do it.
Might think that everyone's down, but no, he finds a knock body to the nose.
Tukaj v finalu je zelo dobro imeti anonymous mode on. Zakaj? Zato, ker folk doskrat pač večinoma te proji, ki so tle, vejo kam kdo lenda. In če vidijo, da je eden od tega tima nokan, grejo oni to pušati, ker vejo, da imajo prednost, ne? Vejo, da so v fajtu, vejo, da je nokan in tako naprej. In zato je zelo pomembno, da če si pro, da imaš anonymous mode v finalu. Zato, ker jim potem piše anonymous in ne vejo, kdo je nokan iz katerega tima.
The way we want to just because of the placement that we have overall, and that's what Fortnite is. If you're getting to where you are by being aggressive and it's working out for you, keep doing your game until you have to play the tournament management game, until it's that last game and you have to say, hey, you know what?
No way.
I've got to just stay alive. And speaking of that, can Mark do that?
Oh, no way. Ja, dubel ga bo, ni šans, da ga ne bo dubel.
And somehow...
What? Ni ga videl! Oh, lahko bi pustil.
He had a free pump to take, but nah, Marsage was too close by. They get a launch pad out of it, a lot of meds as well in terms of shields and some ammunition. Not the craziest in terms of upgrading the loadout. It does have a very good in terms of, you know, consumables, a buff to this trio moving in. They get to basically roll in with Steamy and Dirty Docs inside their inventories. They'll also want to be looking out for the last game winners, Karma, Aware, and Zendaya. Off of that big fight at Boney and off of their spawn as well. They're probably gonna have insane how many eliminations they're rolling in.
Ti ne smejo kvalat chat, ker bo contesta Benji v Steamiju. Oni smejo kvalat.
Gonna be huge on their position. Here's Zendaya who got the last elimination in the fight inside Boney. We're gonna take a little bit of damage probably from just trying to shoot at people. They're also moving really open side Risky. And you were praising this spot on the map entirely, Clay, right? Last game. This is a very good spot to be in. You have control whether you want to go, you know, if it's a north zone or a south zone, towards the left side, sludgy, or towards the mountains. Looks like these guys are going to be moving through wheat.
And nobody landed here. Nobody rotated through here. And they've already got 2 elims. They've already got a lot of loot, and now they're rotating through an unlooted area. This is even better.
Oh. Imeli smo Jurija 200 glasov. Jurija 100 glasov. A lajko imamo 721. Ajde, Fox, isn't like.
On certain teams as well. You know, Snaze is up there with the double digits back to back. We know Floki, Clement, Deciptos is also there with the 10-10. Each on their own. I mean, it's huge.
And for reference, no team had multiple games with 10 eliminations in first qualifier. Snaze has already got 2.
That's Floki, Clement, Deciptos actually that has the 2 in terms of double-digit elims.
My apologies there, but and this zone I really like, because I want to focus here on Karma, Zendaya, and Arwa, as they are going to be one of the only trios we've seen actively get the chance to rotate through the convergence and reap the benefits. Again, they've rotated from their initial job spot.
Ta convergence je full dober za loot trgač. Ne smeš landat, na ta nov location ne smeš landat, ker imaš nič materialov, ampak če zraven nekje lootaš, peš lahko tle lootat, ker je tok floor loota, imaš full šanse dobiti launchpade, polhan loota je tle v bistvu, polhan floor loota, res insane.
You know, mats here too much, or to kind of refresh or take certain positions overall. You can't really replace anything. Once you're building here, you're building. But the big thing is, if you catch someone off guard, you can really go all in and know exactly where they're moving. Every time you build, look at the juxtaposition in color even, right? It's these dark builds versus the vibrant purple, the naturalness of this POI. It's very easy to track exactly where everyone is. Whereas in there, Karma are not going to be able to hide. They have to fight.
And in all honesty, this is probably the worst POI for me to fight in, because I can't see purple. and any of these outfits that players are wearing that may blend in with purple, or if they're red and green, it's just all the same there to me. So if I was this trio, I would get out. I would say, no, thank you. I tell my trio we are avoiding the convergence at all costs, because it's just not a POI that I would want to fight in.
Poglej točke. Ja, okej, no, drips. 69, vsi v chat, 69 lul. Ajde, vsi membri v chat, 69 lul. Ajde. Ajde, ajde.
Keeps the game sense up though. You get to be center zone all the time, Clay. Mad respect.
Gotta focus on getting center zone, and you see how powerful it is.
Yeah, no, definitely for a lot of the teams that are playing here so far.
Dejan, koliko memberov se je sploh na streamu?
Getting to play your own game. But the other side of that too, right? If we're talking about that play style, obviously first place Floki Clement Deceptos is who to focus on for it. The issue with playing consistent is that if you miss that one game, it's basically chalked your whole performance of holding first place. You want to make sure that there is at least one pop-off game that, yeah, you're playing consistent, but that consistency leads to a VR. Because if you do end up slipping up, like you could just have 6
Se neki memberjev vas pa je tukaj. Ponad je bilo memberjev full več na streamu. A pa sam lurkajo. Zdaj na splošno folk manj piše v chat. Kar ni bad, ni bad.
But when KPI, Crow, and Diox here are having the same consistency.
Sem basically prekril samo celo Slovenijo zaradi Šrafa, ampak kako, bravo, Juško. Juško ima skozi probleme.
So both second place and first place are playing the consistent game. Meanwhile, third place, it went from that 20th place with 2 elims to first place with 13.
Yeah, they have a little bit more momentum with the win in 13 as well. So, I mean, this game, that third place team, Karmas, took out Aqua too. Wow, Malabuka, lethal on the beam.
Ja, folk bo počas odrastel. Ne, dejansko se to ful pozna, čikfu. To pač starejši ful rajš lurkamo. Pač še zmer gledamo stream, ampak ne komentiramo veliko. Jaz ko ful redko, že od začetka, odkar sem gledal streamerjev včasih tudi, nikoli nisem komentiral. To zelo redko. Tako da to je res. Starejši, ki si manj komentiraš, se mi zdi, bolj lurkaš. Kar ni več narobe, definitivno ni narobe. Pač pozna se, ful je razlika, zdaj, kad osma se starejših, se ful bolj lahko fokusom v bistvu na igro pa tako, če zastopte, pa manj na chat, ker je itak manj stvari v chatu. In je ful bolj podoben pol že ameriškim streamom, če je tako mislim. Da folk pride, chillat, gleda stream, kaj se dogaja in to. To mi je drugače všeč. Magical. Star nisem, aj prav. Jo, Timi, kako si? Že Mihac? Oh, really, Abby? Čad Nina je od Abi nova prijateljca iz faksa. Ena, s katero se najbolj razume in ne bo hodila več na ta faks, ona. Rip za Abi v chat. Prav slabo započem, pa še njo je imela za seminarsko in zdaj bo zelo slabo za seminarsko. Bo bolj ne sama. Yep, tale je dead. Kako ta še živ? Yep, dead.
They're going to end up going down, but at a huge cost to the side of Massage and Malabuka.
Yo, Malibuka, but they...
Even when I think they're doing damage, it's not enough. If these guys had trading cards as a team or something, their defense stats would be like at the 90s, maybe all the way over at triple-digit 100, because I've never seen them, torn apart instead of mid-game fight.
And just like that, they're back.
Mongrel dobil 2 killa, aleluja, dajmo zdaj, no? To je Surge.
They dropped 3 places again. They were in first and dropping down. So they're not okay with that. They're not. No, we want to go for that first place. And we talk about being consistent. We talk about pop-off games. They had one with that first game, that victory royale. Then ended up getting 12th, which is still not bad, but not enough for them. And you see, it doesn't matter. Hey, we're still going to keep going for aggressive eliminations, and we're still going to go push for it.
Sad je skaj nova generacija mlajših chat. Vsi odraščate mlajših pa ni. Jož, zakaj je čekala do konca leta v šoli, če ji ni do tistega faksa, da ni za njo.
Savage and Dreader Roughsguard have done it for a few seasons. This time, Benji, Savage, and Dreader waiting for them, seeing exactly what will happen inside those finals. But I feel like
XT, koliko misliš, da sem star? XT, ti si star, ti si star 13 ali pa 12.
Still, very good position all the way on the corner side of a mountain.
Maybe unfazed, yeah.
I'm wondering where Snazy is specifically as well, because this will be their home zone that they're playing. With the third one locking in, Clay. I mean, rotations are the name of the game. If you're caught on a bad position right now, you explained it last game. Looking up a mountain,
Dobar spot, ja.
And 10 times more difficult to move past.
15 si, okej.
Are Floki, Clement, and Deceptive.
Rip. Čakaj, a si to prvi letnik ali si... Ja, to si prvi letnik, a?
Second and third, and fourth tied as well, but that's still a good amount of room for them to work with. But I want to know where they are. As we see now, this is going to be third place.
Dobar Juško, no what the fuck.
Up here on the satellite.
Pa ima to veze. Berlinjo je 19, pa ima Fortnite slikca. Taysona je še živ, ja. Zdi se mi.
Honestly, I would rather be where Malibuka was than right down there. Look at how many trios are contested on the edge of that zone, Chayo. And with this zone, it's going to go northeast. Everyone's going to have a very, very hard time.
Ja, bi sam navadat se moč na seminarske, pač. Jaz sem zelo vesel Zabi. Po prvem dnevu, ki je prišla, je bila zelo vesela, kako gre, tako fuli je všeč. Večina predmetov je všeč, kar je zelo dober, pač. Šola se je tako najbolj začela, kar je skoraj da možno, razen to, da zdaj prijateljce gre, kar je zelo slabo, ampak ja. Ajde, srčka v chat Zabi, tako, srčka v chat Zabi. Ajmo.
Clement, Floki, and Sliptos, they're going to be chilling here. A little bit of a mouthful, but the position is as strong too. Hen's going to be right above them. Both teams very strong. Looking to see if they can turn this spot into a very good game.
This is also one of the biggest disadvantages is they're very close to that mountain. They're very close to that cliffside. And luckily, I think they have enough room with it. But if they've got to go up, they've got to go up through Vadil. They've got to go up through Noah Riley. Those are
zdaj, če ne vidim srčka v Chick-foja, bom jezen. Ne se pam se. Ko vidim, da rad lrka, pa nič ne piše. Če mu sam napiše, če kaj proti njemu. Okej, XT. Nekaj, XT si je že spremenil slikco. Evo ga, Chick-fo, evo ga.
They're going to be any much more higher than that. 148, so they should be fine. But it doesn't seem like anybody else around them.
Joe, that. Joe Mama.
It's a very unique position at this point in the game. That big mountain you're talking about, the fact that no one's on it, it's kind of like a unpassable section in a video game, right? Sometimes you hit those invisible walls and it makes you turn around. That's what this mountain is like right now. It's not inside the code of this end game just yet. It's DLC that's not unlocked because it'll be foolish to go all the way up there, burn all those mats, and not have the zone pull right there right now. The main story we're focused on, none of that additional content we're looking at. You know, it's not chapter 3. We're still in chapter 2 right now. We're still in this game, in this zone. It's all about the positions closer to the ground that aren't going to cost you too many mats. Look at the build that's Nate and Snazy are shooting at. It's just about 4 boxes.
Zakaj ne kaže, kdo je knockam pa finišan? Aha, to so Loki bili. Taj se je dobil knock. Nice, nice.
And the zone does lock him south.
Eno, jaz drugače treba en solid render enega skina za profilko, a dela denote te profilke tudi. Zupi jih dela, sam denote se ne da nič več tega delati zdajle. Sploh pa render. Meni on ne dela več tam nailo, on mi je sam poslal fajle, ki jih je naredil, to je to. Čapik se dobil kill. Nice, nice. Evo ga, Mongrel je tam ležil, Trulek so trio. Lej ga Jimke! Cel trio od Jimke ta živ, nice, nice. Presenečajo, prihajajo v endgame, že drugi game, to je dober. Imagine, da Inke pride top 5. Imagine.
Jake just barely above Surge, maybe looking, and again, this is again, I wouldn't want to fight that, but Vadil and Janice are going to be below Surge.
Ma, tudi za denar ne vem, če Chick-fo, jaz sem mu rekel, da mu plačam, jaz rekel, da so da plačam 50 € ali pa kaj tasga, da mi naredi par renderjev, pa presetov, pa tega, da jaz pač lahko sam naprej delam, pa rekel, da se mu ne da več. Vadil dead? Cel trio od Vadila dead? Unik so bili drugi, ali tretji so dead, ok, nice, nice. To je dobar. Evo, Mongrel pa Veno. Veno nima shieldov, ali?
Where's the third teammate is the question. Fury's also kind of left by himself. Link is somewhere nearby. If Aqua's not there in half and half, will definitely be new characters ready to fill the void, take the space, and control the game. Fury with a big shot, but now
Nisem še videl, kje je Tayson.
exactly where he is. Another one. He's getting too much for free. Isn't even building on the backside because they can't afford the match.
Mislim, sej enkrat se bo zih premislil, pa bo spet začel delati. Grem staviti. Sam zdaj se mu ne da, se to čisto razumljivo. Zabil isto je z editanjem. To je God Zone za njiju.
You're right, we go off the mountain. There's only one way we can go back.
That's a double knock, nice.
And every single direction is up a mountain. So everyone right now knows, hey, we go down, we have to have a way to get back up. They cannot use a launch pad here to go down, because if they do, going up, they have to waste every single one of their materials.
Evo ga, Tayson je čisto na drugi strani zona. Sam leva stran zona je čist dead. Sam ne smejo je čist dol. Clement double kill. Te rabijo umret, model. Evo, Veno, Mongrel, vsi pedajo, vsi pedajo. Vsi. Cel lobby peda, model.
And then take hide away. Scram is fighting with Flowis inside the backside of the storm. They pick up eliminations.
A ja, Pingo bi lahko, maybe, ja. Pingo bi lahko, maybe. Čepik se dobil knock, nice. Tyson je dobil kill, let's go. Tyson trio, Dons veliko boljši igral, kot prejšnji. Prejšnji sem sam zadnje 3 igre dobro igral. Dons prve 3 igre zaenkrat. Pač okej, še vedno so šele top 17. Še vedno lahko umrejo, pa je shit game, ampak kille dobijo pa to. Nekaj jim kaže dosti dober. Clement mora čim prej umreti. Skoraj je odmrl tam od fall damage, Trulek snokan. Mongrel živ? Mislim, da je Mongrel sam, brez Venota. Evo, Tyson v trio, cel trio živ. Clement ima surge. To je dober, Clement mora čim prej umreti. Bueno, nice, nice. Above je zdaj, no way.
A safe haven for now, but there's only one spot now where this can go. It is up. It is going to be up.
Ja, ni šans za to preživeti. Yep, nice, nice. Dobar je, dobar je. Jimke na hajtu, yo!
Two different game of Fortnite just happening here at the same
time. Yo!
All the way on height against Spork, Chicky and Jimky.
Evo, Jimky.
And how they've kind of went all the way down and taken the highest possible layer.
Mongrel še živ, double kill.
Buka's also still alive.
Ja, ta mali Buka mora tudi umreti, no. Ne, Čepik se dead. Čepik se dead. Dubal so hide. Veno je mrtv. Mongrel dead. Reason pa Tyson sta še živa, če se ne motam. Koliko imajo te killov? What?
16 more in the game for them to get. It doesn't
Te so dobri, stari, holy.
Second, third are out of this game with that many points. They're going to catapult into first. The question is how many.
Taj prvi tri, Tyson dead, sam še Reason je.
To try to be able to find something, find any points there.
Oh, Chico double kill.
Zone's finally going up the mountain. If you play ultimate height, here is your victory. If you can just get there, they don't have a lot of.
Reason je double kill, nice, nice. Ajmo, Reason, top 6 so. Reason je low, Reason je low. Pojedu je flopper. Ta hajt je full dober za Jimketa, ker gre gor po hribu spet. Koliko kilov, mode, 14 kilov, kvaj to. To je God Zone za Jimketa, chat. God Zone. Mali Buka je skoraj gor launchu. Ne morijo. Ja, Jimke je zmagal to igro. Jimke pa te so zmagali to igro. Ja, Jimke je prvi finale. God kamera. Zmagali so. Zmagali so.
Huge eliminations on the side of them though. 14 as the game wraps up.
GG's.
Jimky and Fork.
Dejansko so zmagali. Yo!
Which is a great game for them. Again, 15th place coming in.
Yo, vsi GG so chat. Prvo finale Inketa, pa ga pofajo, what? Insane. Insane. Ok, prvi mali buka 117, drugi imamo Clemente Siptos Floki 104, tretji Skrampa te 96, Tyson je zdaj četrti z 92 točkam, bili so peti zdaj s 5 kili. Še vedno niso imeli nobenega pop-off gamea, če tako gledamo. Kukar tale game, ne, 14 kill, tretji je insane. Evo ga, 9. chat. Še ena taka igra, pa samo top 5. Inke je Balkanc, chat, on je bil v TS-u, dokler je TS še bil. Čeprav ne vem, ali je bil na koncu še v TS-u, ne, to pa nisem zihar. Pač insane. Valda Vina in Maja Hajče jih kvizi coacha. Ja, to še zmer ni Valda, ne, ampak dobro igrajo. Foxy, 12. Ker je Mongral, a to igro so boljši odigrali, Mongral pa te, Janis. Zdaj so sam 2 igri odigrali, o eno niso pršali, ker zelo slabo, ampak te 2 so tudi slabo odigrali. Mongral, zdaj so dubali neki točk. Ja, od 22 so, 9 so bili 4 kili. Rulex, 21. Pač Imke tu tudi prvošno, čač, ko so underdogi, prvič v finalu, top 5 gre direkt naprej v velike finale. Oni bojo verjetno v hicih tudi, tako ali tako. Ker je v hicih, če so, imajo pol še ribotravno pa to. Predstavljajte si, oni če pridejo v hice, pa tudi če niso top 4 v hicih, še vedno imajo pol 6 ribotravndov. In v teh 6 igrah, da eno zmagajo, tako ker so danes eno zmagali že, so v velikem finalu. Urke, kvizi pa te se so vedno igrali hajde, ampak jaz ne vem, če oni lahko bi na Type NCS. Ne vem, ampak mislim, imajo možnost, definitivno so dobri. Abby, top 66 teams, so it's... No, if you've been to the finals, you're most likely going to be in that. Ja, Grand Royale itak pa... V Grand Royale bojo itak igrali, ja, sam ne vem pa... Grand Royale sem poznal, kako sploh imajo format. Ok, ja. God. Tole je bil God game za njih. Pač zelo so me presenetili. Prvo so slabo odigrali, drugo so solidno odigrali, tretjo zmagali. To je nice. Njimke je rekel, da bojo probali vsak game hide, se to je prav. Vlače jih kvizi coacha, da bojo probali hide. Logično. Hvala jih top 5 direkt v veliki finale. Jo, neci Janežič. Napovedovalec Scorp, tako. Ne, Maniko, se nisem rekel, da niso godni. Definitivno so dobri. Ampak se bomo videli, kako bo. Tudi odvisen je, koliko bo kdo kontestan in to za finale. O, tle so Inketa dobali. Čaj, zdaj smo 3 igre videli, ne? Ja, zdaj je malo večja pauza, Živa Val. Tako, kaj je bil res novo Riley banan? Ja, vse so ga že banali. Prosreč so ga banali, ja. A ja? Ja, okej. Kdo je pa rekel, da jih coacha kvizi? Brinja prav, da jih ne coacha. Hvala, Brinja, za info. By the way, Brinja, krinci, ko imaš Fortnite slikco. To prav Juško. Ojoj. Je, ne, Marinko. Moram reči, čim večji cilj je Jinkeva te. Pa sej, kdorkoli je v finalu ima cilj, da kval naprej, logično. Jevi ga, to je moj gaming account. Ker klav. Kje si Matic Trpin? Matic Trpin je timeoutan, Berlin je abuza.
the duality.
Ja, Trixo, ne spoilat nič. Čakamo naslednjo igro. Ajde, Fox, sinite like, gremo do 900. Po tej igri moramo imeti Jurija lajko, ajmo. Jurija lajko po tej igri. Trix je... Trix, kva ti nabijaš? Kar sebe, a? Bravo. Prelinjo je Ford Kido, se strinjam. Ja, Patrik, to pa dobro spemaš, no? Ne spemi. Če Tyson zmaga to igro 6 killi, so prvi. Ja, ni nujno, odvisno kako tudi ostali odigrav. Ok, member only chat, dajte srčko chat za Tysona, pa za Imketa, valjda. Nisem pričakoval, da bomo za Imketa dejansko takole navijali, tako da... Da sem vedel, da je underdog, ampak ja, insane. Ajde, srčko chat za Imketa, pa za Tysona, ajmo. Srčko test. V test, bravo, ne veš v chat. Evo, member only chat.
They have played so phenomenally well and coming into this and I feel like
Ej, hvala ti Tim Židarčič, ko si upravil moj kreator kod v item shopu, hvala ti, hvala. Drugače ta kreator kod je ScorpLZ imate tudi na ekranih, hvala.
A pop off, yes, you had one pop off there, you looked good. Can they do it again? They proved yeah, we can do it again.
Yeah, this time might have not even been a win, but the elims, the control they had of the game, it's huge. As soon as you put them between a full team, and there's nothing else really going on, they usually end up winning the engagement. Third parties get involved, they still have a very good survival rate. We saw that in the first game. We saw it in one of the most difficult zones in Fortnite history.
Pa, Forky AFK. O moj bog, to je že včeraj naredil Berlinja. O moj bog.
Last game, this time looks like the team is not going to drop in. I think it was Tomes who was trying to do something to these guys.
Pa je šel majster srat, ali kva? A oni Savage skozi landajo, Savage Island.
They'll get to play their own game out too.
Well, I was going to say my question is where they're going, and it's just back to the lobby, as unfortunately they were eliminated just that quickly. It was that fast.
Kdo je lihkar eliminatan, so rekli?
Took them down, and honestly, that's the best possible thing. If you can take them down before we even hop on board with your POV, that is honestly the biggest W you can do while being contested, because essentially you're uncontested.
Get the free match to get the free medal is huge. Will be Mustache, Malabuka, and Shizo we tune in with taking
A bo leto tja, Berlinja. A je prišel nazaj, da bo lahko vsaj lendo tja. Kaj si zamudil? Zamudil si Jinke! Win! Jinke to trio je zmagal. Tretjo igro. Insane, chat, insane. That is insane.
This time he's picking up Sanji. Chips running away.
That is insane.
It looks like it's fast Roki, but this fight is on a timer. You know, there's going to be a team rolling in very quickly, probably taking a lot of people. No, it's 3v1 right now, so Aqua should be able to close this out with fast Roki and CRR. And lots of people are going to
pa moram še overlay narediti. Halloween overlay moram še zrihtati. Da bomo malo bolj Halloween razpoloženje. Isto te ledice gor, lahko dam v Halloween. Ledice lahko zdajle zaforal vmes. Tak mislim, da lahko. Čak, upam, da sem še povezan. To je ta telefon. Nisem pomirzen.
This time, however, as we do see artists taking down Laze and Blackie going down as well, there are. And I like the immediate teleporter over, but look, they've left one player behind. They've got to be careful. And one thing I wanted to touch on this season that I don't think, and Sundown is one of the biggest proponents of this as well, is the lack of resource denial. They just left a free vending machine that gives free mini shields there for their opponents. Yes, it's a little different because they're actively running away, but we've seen in-game vending machines where players are getting heals, where they're getting these minis, and it's one of those things where it's like, if you just took 2 seconds out of your game to break that, you would deny so much, but this team could not do it. They did not have the opportunity. Launchpad was placed, Aqua trying to use it.
Oh, Aqua NHP! Okay, double.
Insane. I've boxed you like a fish. But now, where are the rest of your teammates? Where are my teammates? Unfortunately, they're going to be on top of Aqua. It's going to go down to true 2v2.
Zakaj se Google Assistant uglaša, chat?
What can Forstroki do? It doesn't look like they can do much. It looks like CR
A ste slišali?
Aqua's still up. Forstroki, I believe, went down just not long ago. CR, one of the best. No, Forstroki's still up, still here. They can still pick up Aqua as well. The Chug Slasher is going to save both of them there. It's going to be a 3v1, and what a beautiful play back and forth by CR. This is why he's one of the best fighters. This is why he's on this team, because his box fight, his awareness, his prowess is just that good.
He's getting shots in between frames right there, and if you guys blinked, you missed it. He saved Aqua with that floor edit to get into the fight. It made
ta za Halloween. Se ne vidi veliko. Na streamu dejansko po moje. A se ga je slišal? Google Assistant. Kar pravi, te imajo že spet, lej to model. Te imajo offspawn toliko kilov, 6 kilov imajo, holy. Lejde, full screen hitter, da te videl, ajde. A ja, tukaj se manj vidi, čakaj. Tukaj imam kamero bolj tako dol. Zato, ka... Okay. Evo. Pola je. Lahko damo kaj drugega. Bom to jaz pol pogruntil. Zdaj gremo nazaj gledat, ajde. A ja, na dres bi tudi mogel še dati, ja. Vijolična. Ja, ta je oranžna pa vijolična, ja, ki je avtomatsko Halloween, kao. A ni boljša oranžna pa zelena za Halloween, ali?
Not advantageous, so I like that they're waiting. But the problem with where they are is nobody else is coming from the north. Nobody's going to be rotating in there. They're not going to get more attacks. They're going to have to rotate into the team that they just put pressure onto.
That's how we see Chapix going all in.
Porka so bil, ki je bil AFK. Oh moj bog. Kako je lahko to kdo AFK? Berlinjo? A sploh ni nazaj prišel, ali kaj?
Looking for any tags inside the first zone.
Men bi se odpalal.
Free to get over here. So many people are still moving between POIs. North is almost completely deserted right now, so not going to be much to see over there. Lots of teams will be coming in from that south side. And maybe we go back to Craggy all over again. Yeah, 10-point differential almost 15 actually between these teams. It'll be
Pa je ta zvok, na kar slišimo plese in vse.
They're playing two different games. We see Diox unfortunately going to go down. Crow, though, going to get a return elimination.
No way, double kill.
We'll see what they can do. Noah Riley trying
to... Počeo znamo, prepozno, Lende je sred korala.
One of those players that if they're in your box, they're in your
face. Ne moram verjeti. Veš, ko bi se meni odpalali in zakaj ga ni bilo Berlinja? Pa je delo. Meni bi se odpalali, če bi to 1-3 to naredil v finalu. Sploh pa, ko imajo dejansko šanse bi top 5. On je iz tem zdaj zasral tako orang.
And Shizo, they are going aggressive. They say first place. It doesn't even matter. We
were
He's in between every single body. Got to get out. No, he's going to go down. Shizo.
Rabu je psa vam pelat. Oh moj bog.
Look at KPI. Josie just so low already. If Versace can get there, if Malabuku can put some backup in, they will take down one, make it back over to a 2v2. No, they take down Diox. They're going to make it a 2v1 after this player goes down. May be able to get away for now. They're getting out of dodge, but already back in their favor.
Vamo, noben druga ni mogel, kar ne vejo doma, da majster igra finale.
Josie gonna go down now a 2v1. This is why they're in first place. They're showing, hey, yes, we got here. We were one of the last teams to qualify in, but that does not matter. That does not mean we don't deserve to be here. The charge is gonna work.
Veš, ko je to velika šansa, da je on zastral top 5 tim.
Will be a 2v2 they're looking at, finally get the finish. So
now bil AFK.
Spacious in terms of how they want to take this fight. They can slow it down a little bit. They can back up, recuperate. Got their wall, but no edits. The team has switched layers here for a little bit. And the rule of
to je full slaba. To je res slaba.
Once it goes past about 30-40 seconds, you know people are going to be watching, looking around, and waiting for pot shots all the way across the field. I think both teams will trade the opportunity to get those reboot cards. Scrobo will drop back down for his teammates in just a little bit. Versace Malabuka pick up Shizos, and then they'll be able to move out, get that reboot up, and have a lot of damage moving into the mid game.
I love that. I'm loving everything this team.
Klači star
I'm gonna be honest, because it's a very Europe play style. We've seen it so many times in so many different
Brinja si
before.
šetle.
It's this confident fight throughout. And I
Brinja.
think going back, we saw it last around when Intro and CR played together, right? When they played duos, they would just go wherever they wanted to. The difference here is that they make it up to in-game. They are there in the in-game all together, and they're doing it with such prowess that if they're in the in-game, it doesn't matter if anybody else is. They're going to get more points than you. They're going to get more elims because they can just fight together. It's like one person playing
Koliko je Imke jezen, ki je bil AFK? Koliko je jezen od 9 do 10?
Two different roles at the same time. No, definitely. It's huge. I think one thing, though, for this team is that they're always kind of being pushed or pressured apart and not really responding strong enough to anything that's happening around them. The zone changes in a weird way. They can't adapt as hard as other teams like Malabukas, like Floki Clement, the Siptos.
O, Janis. Pušao se u korala, ali?
And they get to control all aspects, and the zone's really not
4 kile imajo.
messing them up. They have an advantage really in these fights, and you'll see it. They kind of trapped Karma's vehicle right there, shooting him with Janice Vidil, Noah Riley really quickly. Kind of figured out their entire surge type of problems overall. Janice picking up a lot of eliminations so far, moving down from the north side on towards Pleasant Park.
Že Berlina minut piše. A, ja. Či se bo pizde. To je res tako model. Zmaga igro, 9 so, šansa ima za kval. Veš, kako je to? Ta igra, ena igra je ful pomembna, da si top 5 tukaj. Maybe klačata sam.
This is the game to start catching up and doing things differently. They're on that wavelength already. Janice also back up.
Zihar nisem bilal, v dezih ni bilal.
Come back, it has to be a top 5 from this team with at least double-digit elims.
I'd agree, and you see with the way they position
Pač mislim, ja, ni mogoče tako dobro za sled game, ampak ja, Vena je dobil kill. Sam, jaz bi bil tudi jezen po moje. Ne bi popizdil po moje na teammate-a. Ampak sebi bil tako, pri sebi bil ful jezen, no.
As it just looks so good now because you've got a lot more builds to farm up.
Evo ga.
You've got a lot more opportunities to find loot moving over. Going to be down here in this trio. They did pick up that victory royale, but now at a disadvantage both below Surge and without a player.
Lots of teams struggling similar to them. CRR versus I think the Siptos.
Slaba.
There's 2 casualties in that
Še
fight.
below Surge.
Here goes Crow right back at it again. Is there a round 2 I didn't know about? Is this the Octagon? What's going on? The Siptos, Floki, Clement. They're not going to be exactly inside that fight. They're going to be towards another for now, but Malabuka is going to be close by towards the northern side. That fight almost crashed together. It looks like they might have wrapped up what looks like Aqua's team completely as they move away. I want to go back over to that side and see what's up.
It's back and forth fights. Yes, it is continuing there. Malabuku going to get shots there onto Josie. And again, it doesn't even matter that the zone is here. They want to fight. They want to be aggressive now, deciding to disengage. They realize, hey, it's a little bit too much of a deal. Somehow going to go down to the other side of the map, just northwest of here. Janice going to go down there to Chapix. That's a big takedown as well for them. Vadil, Janice going down. I can only assume no.
Chapix je double kill. Nice. To je full dobar.
Is getting straight up on. They have enough matches.
Ja, ja so 3 spet dead, mislim, da.
Zone once again pulling to the north.
Malibuka. Te bojo prišli do finale, chat 100%.
They can just hold Crow, Deox, and Josie out. They can grab all of these eliminations.
To je dobar za Benja.
Momentum is already on your side. 3 more eliminations. It's just gonna add more fuel to that fight.
Benji, to je Benjija sezona. Sam če bo oni kontestali, ne bojo zmagali. FNCS ni šans. Ne bojo imeli šans. Ker ni šans, da 6-krat zmagajo off-spawn. Oziroma 12-krat. Mislim, od 12 iger, da zmagajo ene 8-krat off-spawn. Ne vem. Težka.
They're about to face. They'll have good mass the whole way through. Malabuka does spot out what looks like fast Roki moving in towards the backside. They both see each other.
Eto, oni imajo 128 točk. Mi smo imeli 123 točk v round 2. Z 10 igram, oni imajo s 3 igram 128. Oziroma 122, no, kaj ta je zdaj že četrta. In to v finalu. Insane.
Very sneaky. Anything can just explode at any moment. Very spaced out. We see Crow's team on the minimap at the bottom right. They're all the way on the right there. Those 3 arrows kind of gotten out of the zone. They're chilling for now.
I like that Malibuku went back in the zone to grab those heals up. It's just free. There's no one around you. It's really gonna have any view.
A ja, točan, je malo drugače, a killi so več vredni, to je res, to je res, to je res. Killi so krat 2, pa oni imajo veliko killov. To je res, to je res. Bravo, Abi. Jimke je dubu kill! Oh, Chico je dead, Jimko je dead, yep, dead's up. Jimke, Chico, dead.
This is going to be a hard one for a lot of these trios. If they're not making their way in from Craggy now, I don't see him lasting.
Jaz mislim, da jim je s to igro, ka ga ni bilo, ka forka ni bilo, ka je bil AFK, jim je zasral možnost, da kvalifajo, da so top 5. Jaz mislim, da. Zelo slaba, zelo slaba.
Malibuka got one of those knocks inside the fight. They're going to be buffed up. It's going to be very tricky. Every decision these guys make kind of dictates how the rest of the entire server of EU has to play today. In first place,
I know, Abby, I know.
In this game too, the more they further the lead, the harder it is for any other team to stay inside that top 5.
And the charge is such an interesting weapon, and we've seen both the advantages and we know the advantages of it, but we've really seen a lot more especially from trios that have it still up in that last moment.
Kaj moča dejansko se smeji. Ja, sej, zmašal se mu bo.
Pressured there by the pump, but where they've got to go every single person
si pa povedal, mislim, da.
has to move out.
Tyson. Spet imajo zone, chat. Druga igra že danes od teh 4 so dubal zone. Nice. To prejšnji teden nismo videli, da se reče. Imajo 2 killa, kar ni bad, definitivno.
I mean, they're what, 6th place right now? You don't want to be 6th place in this qualifier.
Tysonov trio pa Tidijev trio so edini trio, ki so bili danes še vsako igro top 10. Pain, yep.
And for Taysona, when it was a Craggy, it was a top 2 overall. I mean, him, Chapek's reason landing here, obviously, it's hometown. And they know exactly how mid-game operates inside all these zones.
Sam Tysonov trio nima dobrega luta, rabijo refresh. Sicer ne vem, kako imate one 2, ampak nimajo neki shieldov.
This will be the ultimate test. A second chance they have now to fix the mistakes they made in game 1. All of this, right? Picking apart a position, looking to stay safe, managing the mats is fine.
Mongrala imajo pod njimi.
Last time Aqua was doing a lot on height, got interrupted by the Loop Boys, and then a chance to win overall, but they couldn't against, I believe, it was Malibuka in that first one, but this time,
Sam iskrat pa nam šel. Oni imajo zelo malo točk. Sam ne vem, če je to so fake točke 17, ja, to so fake točke. 100%. Mislim, da so odigrali na igro dobro.
Their stubbornness, which is okay to have as a competitive player, but at some point you need to realize I cannot always go for high ground. And I know, telling you not to go for high ground is a big task. That is the playstyle. They've played it every single season that I've ever watched them, and it's done so well. But this season, like Levin said, you don't have to have it to win. You really don't. We've seen so much more
nice.
Low ground. And yes, while you may not win the game on low ground, if you get 2nd place with 12 elims, 5th place with 12 elims, high ground means nothing.
Nova je še živ. Vodil pa Janis pa deda, če se ne motam. Sad še 20 lajka do Jurija, gremo, ajmo. Že dolgo nisem videl Jurija lajkov, ajde. Pa valjda gremo še naprej z lajki, ne končamo.
So we'll see if they can butt their head in maybe slightly later, the 7th to 8th zone. And as we're watching, Floki, Clement, Deceptos, these guys not going to be absolutely topped off on Surge just yet, it looks like. Nah, they're up now, 136. It's looking good, but they did have a little bit of a scare.
Ni več Surge. Malibuka je dead! Ne, Veno je ubil Rizona.
Unfortunate, so is Reason. That's a full finish by Veno. So I'm not sure what happened on the west side of this zone.
Kaj pa je s Tysonom pa Chapeksom?
A little bit of sickness on position, on rotation, and then got taken out.
And that's probably the biggest member of the trio to take down. Malavuku seems to be the driving force.
Dobar je da imali Buka tudi dead, to je dobar. Sami so itak full uspredi.
Them being down, I really want to keep a close eye on how they're going to operate there with just Mustache and Shizo up. Because I think it's going to be a little different, but look, Vino going down.
Vino je dead, Joe pa Mongra sta še živa.
Claimed the high ground this time around, but
Kje je Tyson? Je Tyson trio dead?
Aqua and Fashoki not even looking for it. They're going to get Mustache. It's only going to be Shizo
Aqua je
left there.
dobil, no?
Aqua taking down first place. What a game
Aqua je ubil...
if they had another pop.
Mislim da je Moribuka trio dead.
17 points, I think, separated them from second all the way to first. Mustache finally taken out, but Shizo still surviving inside those builds. All these guys have to do is keep it low key.
Upam, da sta Tyson pa Čapik še živa. Ker nismo videli nič levo gor.
Everyone's gonna breathe for a moment right now. It's gonna pull away from everybody. Not a single soul is safe. Launchpad's dropped over. This is the zone where everybody, if they have a launch pad, is looking to use it, even if they have those max materials, because right now you're pretty safe.
Pa men chat umaral, ste vi umaral? Vi ste umaral, okej. Trulek ima height. Hej, Tyson. Nekje na levi v spodnji mora biti. Jaz mislim, da Tyson dead, chat. Jure lajkal? Ni še, 2 lajka manjkata. Meni kaže še 2 lajka, da manjkata do 1000. Evo, zdaj pa je, let's go. Da vidimo, kje... Jaz vidim Tysona, chat. Jaz vidim, da... A, ne, Čapik se... Ja, sta živa, Tyson pa Čapik sta še živa. Nice. Nice, to je dober, to je dober.
They land first. Hen playing security
guard.
Now they fully get secure all the way towards the top side. Trulix will try to heal up. A big jump from Hellfire Flows and Scram. They're still rolling in. Big harpoon to the pump shot combination. And he gets a nice elimination. Now fully refreshing those materials, fully getting the damage for Surge as well. What a turn of events as Hellfire Flows and Scram find some freedom in these builds.
Noah dead.
Keeping the team's dream alive all by themselves. Says, I'll get the Surge, don't worry, just follow
Tyson Čapik. Čapik je 1 HP. Upam, da se bo lahko pohilil. Desipto si dobil kill. Tyson je dobil knock, nice. God. Dobil je finish, to je zelo dober. Upajmo, da je refresh. Da je dobil loot. Ker knock. Majster je solo. No way. Kva ga klača. 9 killov imajo. Oh moj bog. Shizo klača. Te so insane mode, to kar vsi klačajo. Ok, dead je. Dead je. Trulek še vedno na hajtu. Tyson Čapik so oba full HP, nice. Aqua trio še živ. Trulek bil tegan. Moram konektor gledati na hajtu. Oni so zelo slabo igrali vse do tele igre. Ta igra jih lahko prinese gor, da imajo šanse za top 5, za velike finale, direkt. Desipto še živ. Joe je še živ, mislim, da je njih kill dobil Joe. Tyson še živ, Čapik še živ, nice. Joe je živ. Mongra je tudi še živ. Mongra ali pa Joe kot... Tyson dobil kill, let's go. To je to, Tyson, Čapik sklačata. Čapik. Nima veze. Hen dobil kill na CRR-ju. Desipto še solo zdaj. Tyson knoka, Mongra je dobil Tysona. Čapik se je dobil Mongrala. Čapik se samo še živ. Top 7 so zaenkrat. Tyson je bil dead zdaj, finishan. Čapik se dead. Top 6 so bili, mislim, da. Top 6 so bili. Ne najboljša, imeli so spet nekaj killov. Ostali bojo top 5, mislim, da. The Symptoms dead. Joe je še vedno živ, edini v trio tu. Torej so v trio, cel trio živ, 4 kille. Nimajo veliko killov, ampak Joe je dobil kill. Dober game za Mongrel v trio.
We've got to drop down. We don't have to stay ultimate high ground. These are old builds. Joe now will fall down at 3v3 an ultimate test. Who is going to win it? Will it be high ground yet again? Or will low ground pull something out? Will it be Dan, Loki, and Maramba? Will they be able to find something? But it just seems awkward. No! Hen is going to go down. Dan down very low as well. Maramba.
Kenya dead. What?
Loki going for the push.
That's got to do a kill.
Where are you pushing? Back to the lobby. You're going to go. We'll get the siphon. Where's Maramba? What can they do? Resper trying to get in his own, trying to find the last player. They do. No, it's
niso zmagali.
still somewhere there.
Dejansko niso zmagali, ampak vseeno. GG's. Dajte vsi GG's v chat, da pogledamo zdaj še lestvico. Pa vsi GG's v chat, pa vsi RIP v chat še zraven za Jimketa. Ker njegov trio Fork je še ob samem pelati in je bil AFK in je off-spawn umrl. No way. No way. Ajde, da vidimo lestvico. Prvi še vedno Mali Buka 147, drugi Floki Clemente Siptos 135, tretji Skram, Flonada Hrnada 128, četrti, Tyson še vedno četrti, 123 točk. This guy Nate. Peti. Pač Tyson, imam mehno prednost, ampak ni še to, še dve igri sta. Sedmi so bili, okej. Sedmi so bili. Definitivno mora še eno dobro, če eno dobro tega, eno igro top 3, so mislim, da hvala. Pol, da vidimo zdaj, prej so bili 9. Jimke pa te, Aqua je zdaj 10. Evo, 11, dobro. Samo 2 spota so dropali. Samo 2 spota so dropali, ampak bili dosti bližji top 5. Ej, hvala ti, Tinš Dršič, hvala, ko upraviš škoda. Daj bo tak no stream, kaša no stream. Da pogledamo Jinketa, koliko se pizdi. Ajde, da vidimo. Je to Leon? Ne, to je Fork. O moj bog.
They just don't win, and you're like, cool. They just right? And so,
Sweet. Who the fuck are you? Prvo sam mislio meni još hodja promeni smenu, ona mene ostala opet isti smenu, ne možeš izmisliti. Ovo ne možeš izmisliti.
A ja, očitno je Jimke jezen na psa, ba je. Imaš, da sta psa jezen. Ja, Kinzel je že v velikih finalih, v velikem finalu. A ja, Mongrel, ker je, ja, točen. Ja, Mongrel je zdaj 15. 63 točk. Še tako pa, se imajo še šanso, ne? Pač, če zdaj so 2 igri zapored boljše odigrali. A bomo videli. To jezni. Mislim, sej, logično je, da je jezen. Logično. Koliko igr je? 6, sam še 2 igri sta čet, sam še 2 igri. Jurek ima kvizi ne igrajo več skupin, nope. Pa me glava boli čat. Grem jaz hiter na VC, okej? Grem hiter na VC, borba.
Being very measured, planned, organization, and I'm not saying they don't have any of that, but it definitely is just sort of brute forcing, right? And you can see that, and this is the benefit of it when it plays off. You can sort of catch up like this, right?
No.
The point is that they need to be careful, right? They're still sitting here in first place, but they need to be careful because they can't afford to maybe get caught out too many times. You roll the dice so many times, eventually you're going to stop hitting sixes. So I think these guys really need to think about tournament management, right? That's always the phrase people use, right? We think about, okay, how can we guarantee we get the top 5? Because that's the most important thing here.
I mean, for them being on 147, you know, maybe 20 more points, and that'll 100% guarantee them. So honestly, for them, I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. I see them keeping that trend up. I see the pickaxes coming out. I see them getting even more flashy as the next few games come on for them. But for Floki, Clement, Decepto still in second place. Flo is Hellnada and Scram still. I keep saying Hellnada. It's Hellfire, but everyone loves a bit of Canada putting the names together. In third place, still doing super well. Same with Taysona, Chapix, and Reason. Coming into kind of the fifth game that we've got here, the top few are definitely kind of solidifying themselves up in that close range, with obviously Mustache's team pulling away a bit, but it will definitely be a real close one after that.
I don't want to jinx it, but there was a team in fifth place there. There was a team in fifth place there that we've spoken about, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to jinx anything. You know, we've still got a couple more games, but there's a team in fifth place who, you know, Reese said he didn't think could be in fifth place, and of course there's 2 more games left. Right? So, but they're there now. They're there now. I just want to point out.
I don't usually get nervous. But I'm getting a little bit shaky, I'm telling you.
Oh no, the caster curse. Don't do us like this. All right, Fortnite fam, you heard the buzz. It means we're going back into the action. We'll have 2 more games before we know who will make it into that top 5 and qualify automatically in the finals. So for now, Shy Wager, Clay, back over your incredible faces.
Listen, things might be getting shaky on the desk. We'll stay rock solid, Clay. These are some amazing games so far. They're really different every single time.
Ko še igra, še 2 igri. Še ena, tale pa še ena, ko bo zdaj pač. Tyson zaenkrat 4., Jimke 11., Mongrel 15. Ajde, srčko v chat za srečo. Za Tysona pa Jimke tajmo srčko v chat. Čez 10 sekunda member only chat. Ajde. Evo za vas isn't like, ajde. Če še niste.
In all honesty, for them, it was kind of better.
Oh, member only chat je on.
They got that early surge. They've got
No, hrana spet. O, ne, abi. Kaj se zgodili Jimke tu? Ja, Jimke je drugač rotal server kakorkoli, bil je v TS-u. Njegov trio je šel psa vam pelat. Mogu je psa vam pelat, nije bil AFK.
5th place POV, as the desk said, these guys will be the line. Everyone else is trying to cross. Fury not going to be inside this game for the most part, and Ristretto going to be taken over by swaps in the early side. Whereas the south, things look free.
No, teli imajo free.
More room to breathe, especially coming in at 5th
Oh,
place.
Aqua se fight off spawns. Yeah, now you're dead.
Any room to breathe, it's going to be Aqua for Stroky and CRR. Luckily, able to return the fire there on Devavi.
Oh, Reza.
Go for that revive there. Only 1 more player remaining on the enemy team, but it doesn't seem like they're anywhere nearby.
Čakaj, kje pa tretji? What? Pa je bil ta tudi AFK? Teammate.
Just in general overall.
What? 2 so dubal, tretjega sploh ni tle na mapi.
But hey, you get a 9th with 9 elims. You
really put
yourself all the way back up in contention. 95 points, and they basically need to hit 110 to be in contention for the top 5. That's exactly where Snazy, Sky, and Nate are. Just about 20 points separated. So if they get those 10 elims, they get those 9 elims, this game should still be there. If they get top 5 as well, that'll be huge for their points. So that's what they're going to be going for. For Taysona, Chapix, Reason, it's all about holding on.
Tyson zaenkrat nima neki dobrega luta.
The pattern we've seen so far is Taysona getting picked apart and falling a little bit earlier. They've had 2 craggy zones as well, Clay, right? So it's been huge for them to be able to be comfortable and play their game overall. But they need to turn the games when it's not in craggy also into big points.
They'll have to do that now, whether depending on where it
Ja
goes.
sam definitivno rab kakšne druge šilde še. Aha, tle ima biga.
I want to see that corny zone that we haven't seen yet.
Pa še mini, pa še en big. Holy shit, okay, nice.
These players can separate themselves.
Ja, X je zaenkrat ne dajo nič moderatorjev, tako da.
Place, I believe, looking good, but wait a minute.
O, probaj jih tegat.
We've got a little bit different situation. The team up above is being more aggressive.
Slightly. I don't think it should affect them too much. Asitom might be the last alive for the fight that breaks down early. In that position, should be good for now. No, the whole team's alive, and it doesn't look like much happened. Maybe a misfire on a gas can. CRR, though, getting knocked by Zendaya. 1 game winner to
CRR
trying to get one under their belt.
Chapix se fajta! Wow!
So this will be the classic
1v1 se tukaj fajta, what?
all the way up to the hill, the thing that you were calling for, Clay. And they're really going to go straight
To je
forward.
morajo paziti.
Box to box.
Ker je sam tukaj. Teammate prihajata.
No! They stepped away, and there is no more isolated fights. The teammates have come by. He's bought enough time, but I think he did a little bit of damage, so...
Ampak naredil je damage, mislim, da kar je dobro za Surge.
That's what I wanted to see from Chapix. The old, I'm the king of Craggy. I'm going to push out wherever I want to. And we really saw that with them in squads. And I like
koliko imate vi delaya?
Again, like you said, they need to be confident about going out of Craggy.
Sedi toliko delaya. Eni full za nazaj gledate, imam občutek, ker komentirate full pozem. Če gledam za nazaj, klikam to spot live. Sedi to bom imel zdaj tako, za nazaj se bo lahko gledal sam še turnirje, kaj jih igramo. Ali kadar Juško rad pisati. Tam da se ne more, zato da je Fox skos na tekočem.
Really well for a little, but then always got interrupted by a team inside that half-in, half-out zone. It seems like got so many different escapes from demise earlier on in game 1 and 2, but it was this last game, game number 4, where they really popped off. Got that VR. Sabahu once again finds a vehicle and runs away from a full trio. I don't know how this man is doing it, but he's living.
he is just surviving right now. And by the way, that flew in, that's across all regions. This is the only trio across all regions to get a victory royale from Orchard.
That's huge, putting the spot on the map. I mean, a lot of the times people just look for...
Zdaj ni danes igral solo cashka, zato ga smo rajč gledali. Pač ni mi... Pa sam živčen bi bil. Brijo mi tudi znaro.
There's a lot of opportunities from Orchard, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it could be that victory royale spot, the I'm gonna out heal everybody in the game spot, and I like the versatility of it. And I think that's what makes Fortnite is there's like a million different ways you can play it, so many different play styles, and all of them seem to always be on effect here in competitive Fortnite.
Definitely, but they're still kind of in that position that we just left.
Ja, ne, Drips, drugače ne. Lahko pa mogoče refresham chat per sep. Sam ne. Noč ni hitrej, noč ne bo hitrej.
Double-digit elims and being somewhere inside that top 10. That'll put him up in contention to auto-qual for the finals. Put him in a really good spot for that last game. Tidy though, he's had some good games. He's gonna be ahead. He's kind of shooting at that car as it goes by, but we go to a big fight. Looks like Karma's and Daya and we're really picking.
Jasno je čisto mu zadi.
Sometimes it's Aqua, sometimes it's someone else off spawn. This time it's Reason, Chapix and Taysona.
Ne vem, kako je Chapix pa Reason fajta tle, da sem pa tam chilla zraven.
Fight against 7th again. If 4th takes down 7th, there's a lot more cushion there, a lot more room to make a mistake.
Mislim, rabijo Surge dobiti, definitivno.
Can topple 4th place there.
Ej, to igre je bilo samo 31 timov noter, what?
Well, they're constantly moving up the leaderboard. That will just kill their momentum.
They're really looking to just survive as much as possible. Elims don't have to really even be that much of a factor for Zendaya. The biggest thing right now is that a lot of the teams that are inside the top 5 have gotten there through consistency. Right? I think it's Mustache, Malibuka, and Shizo who are the only ones that have really won a game. Have a very crazy top 3 pop-off after that. Everyone else is coasting in top 10, top 5 with about 5-6 eliminations. And then one kind of maybe behind average game overall. This means that if you do end up surviving longer, maybe even get towards that VR, and you're at 100 points already, you're definitely scooting into maybe even the top 3.
Pač Taysona trio morajo tole igro. Top 3 pa so kvalali, po mojem. Ne moram vedeti, da so prejšnji teden dejansko zgubili na tiebreaker, kar slaba.
I want to just keep seeing them be aggressive. I don't want to see them stop that until the last game. I want to see their gameplay.
Skladaj sem to kuda, farma.
And then I want to see their tournament management skills. Because that's where they're going to thrive in the finals. If they can do that, and then 3rd, 4th, 5th game, rather start to slow it down, manage their aggression, and just hold on. Because right now, it can be a little bit more aggressive. It's not going to be the same
Tyson full refarma skozi smete, to smo danes v solo cash cupu videli. Da ima vse 500 proba zmerjati. Če je malo riske, da damage prejme. To jaz doskrat delam, pa sem vedno mislil, da je to ful slabo, ker sam damage prejmem za brez veze.
Also be 6 more games to play inside there. So have to manage things very differently the whole time. Presentation chat picks. I guess one of the causes of them running into so many different teams is because they have one of the best spots to get surge from. Pick up on brick 2. Up inside the car with the chonker tires, they'll be able to just completely drive away. They're going straight towards the north side. The zone has been here, I think, 3 different times now, a central north one. And it's pulled towards Craggy every single time. So they're realizing the patterns. Also realizing, we saw the map shot, a majority of teams should kind of be near the south. So being near empty spaces.
One da imajo dovolj search. Mangra je double kill, nice, nice.
One of the tires is kind of let loose as well. How far can this vehicle go? Answer is not that far.
Ne, to ni dobar. To ni dobar.
A few chuck splashes. That's a little bit greedy.
And I think one of my least favorite things to see when things like that happen or when fire flies your throat is the non-immediate chug splash. It gets rid of all the fire in your area. He was right on top of his teammate.
Evo ga, Mangral.
You're gonna need it eventually. It gets rid of the fire, your builds are fine, and then you're able to just keep standing there and building. But again, that's a little bit panicky.
Aqua, CRR pa stroki ne bojo kvalala. Direkt v velike finale. Pač, danes.
Like we saw seasons ago, eliminating those NPCs. That way nobody else could get them and use them. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, that's something to do. Not everyone's thinking about it in that moment, though.
I think one of the reasons teams don't opt for the insta splash is because as soon as you see a vehicle blow up, teams will always start to beam as much as possible. And I've seen, I think, chug splash tech or like an insta pop of a fish, and it never goes well because you just end up getting shot down. You have the lapse of building that's not there for even that half second. You see how far
look at Speed Craig is on. What the?
Even half a second of beams, that's about 150 damage.
Že
so you want to
tretji.
make sure the defense is up at all times.
Sem ni čist Craigie, ampak. Mislim, da je to komaj drug zon, ampak vsem.
Zendaya, Aware, and Karma is they're doing so well, and
Te ne smejo dobro igrati, ker so pod Tysonom.
From EU for a while, you know their names. You know Karma, you know Zendaya, you know Aware. They've been here, right? But they haven't really had that prowess that you have with names like Loki, Clement, and Decepto. So coming in 7th place, there's a lot of pressure for them to make that top 5, especially from themselves. They've popped off. They've done really well. They want to perform. And if you can get top 5,
Onda se nisi dižal tole kas.
more on your name. Like, hey, we did it when there was only 2 qualifiers to do so. So I'm looking at them. I really want to see them do well because, like you said, this is a season across all regions.
Jimke je nokan. Slaba. Upajmo, da je to sam na dolgo razdaljo. Mali Buka je dead. To je dobar. Kjeri so teammatei od Mali Buke, ker se nikoli ne zapomnim, ko ima taka imena.
Zendaya, Karma, and Aware. They've had 1 win with 13 elims. The rest of it has been a 12th, a 20th, a 15th. If they want to qual from this spot, this
A kdo ve od memberjev?
at least the 10th place, at least maybe 3 or 4 eliminations. And the next game has to be as consistent, maybe even better if everyone else ends up popping off. I'm not sure if they have it in them because they've been kind of jittery and just pushing teams. I know you like the aggression, Clay, but that aggression might be the reason they end up losing out a chance at top 5 in this tournament.
Well, and I think this comes back to a phrase that you yourself said a long time ago: measured aggression, balanced aggression, right? Is knowing when to be aggressive and when to stop yourself and realize, hey, that's too much. We've got to tone it in. And the EU is one of the best examples of that. You've got players that will just go the entire time and not stop, and then you have players that will go.
Teli imajo zelo slab search. Te ne bojo preživeli s healanjem searcha, te morajo nujno. Te so dead, te bojo, če ne bojo pušali, so dead. Janis knock-on, CRR dead. Nova double kill, Janis finish on.
As the lightning keeps coming in, Restash, you're just talking about him.
Only pa še NSO, okej.
I'm not sure if I saw Shizo go down. Marombi Loki, the winner.
Shizo je z njimi še točen, ja.
And now opportunity for some damage is not going to hit.
Fork je double kill, to je nice. Imke je bil finishan, Imke je dead, ampak Fork sem videl, da je double kill.
Is not going to be put on the map once again.
First place is out. They've all gone.
Chico je tudi dead, pa Fork, yep, Imke to trio je dead.
For Floki, for Clemento,
Rip.
and Deceptos, if you will, Clementos there, they need to do well. This is their game. If they want to lead, if they want to establish themselves as, hey, we can do this, we can hold on, this is their game. Not to mention as well, for Flowis, Hell, and Scram, they as well can establish a lead, can start to get there, because they were only, I think, 19 points behind. That is not that hard to get at this level for them. And so this is a big game because first is out. So second through eighth are up. There's a lot of wiggle room there.
Bili tudi da sve dobrega. Sicer so dosti stran od Taysona s točkam, ampak še vedno če klačajo, da spet pride do zadnje igre, da bo full preveč. Ja, ne, it's boja.
The pressure is real. This is 2 games they need to both perform in. This is the catch-up one to kind of get them into triple digits. The next one has to be a pop-off. Or it can be a variation of both at different times. The basic rule is, though, you cannot go down right now. You cannot go down before the
Tyson trio vsi živi, Tyson spet čist posebej zase.
Some of these teams can't afford it.
More paziti.
Shizo, they're down at what, the 3rd zone right now, Clay? They can afford it. They can come back next game and be stronger. Have a chance still to be inside the top 5. Taysona Chapek's reason,
Tyson mora tle
even if they
paziti.
make mistakes right now, they still have one more game with 130 points.
Zdaj ima en kill samo to igro.
But for majority of the teams in the lobby, they're playing to survive, and that's why you see 22 teams alive right now. 62 players as that 4th zone locks in. This one's going to be a stacker.
Nokani so. Tyson je v dober angle tle. Sicer je tako, malo je strašno, kad ko igra stran od tima, ampak...
Is actually going to pick up elimination there on the Robonus. Now they're going aggressive. Chapek's Piston and Taysona.
Tle sam ne smejo zasrati zdaj pa umret.
To be in the boxes, they pick up 1, but that's all they're going to grab. I'm not sure their Storm Surge efforts here with only 1 Elam's reason. We'll take down Axe there. Is going to throw.
Yep, Axe ta se dovolj, okej, to je dobro. Dovolj sem malo refresha, gor je še en dead body, vidimo.
Right nearby. This game is setting up well.
Mongrelov trio.
Mongrel Vino Jotho.
2 killa imajo zdaj. Tyson ima 3-3-5 mece, ne vem kako imajo drugi. Ima 2 peda, kar je tudi zelo dober.
Anxiety for the team that had a game plan to get away, but looks like Mongrels will take it first. They will get a lot of the pressure.
Ta ped je tudi tako dosti v redu, no. Da so prvi bližji. Headshot je bil, what? No way. Ne more paziti.
Great to let Mongrel and them rotate ahead of you because you're going to be able to follow exactly where they went, see those sight lines as you're rotating through, and the pressure that Taysona put with just 1 AR tag was enough to make that team back down, and they're looking good.
Da vidimo damage. So 600 above Surge-a, dajte v chat klicaj Storm. Za tiste, ki ne vejo, kaj je Storm Surge, da ScorpLZ bot v chat napiše. Nec, ne, mačkan manj je. 690, zaradi tega, ker 1 uro bom tako streamal. Pa ne bo 5 evrov, ni šans zdaj na 5 evrov. Ker bom pol iz prvo dnevom lože prišel na cel teden. To ne.
Total, it's going to be hard. Deceptos and Clement going to go down. It's going to be Flowis and Scram fighting. That is a big fight. That is 2nd and 3rd, taking each other out of the equation. With 1st already gone, that looks so much better for
Clementov trio je dober, to je zelo dober. Je dead, to je zelo dober.
They have gone down as well.
Točno to, Nate.
This leaderboard is going to be shaken up really, really quickly.
There's different ways to shake it too. We'll have Taysona, Chapek's, and Reason waiting for it to bake in the oven. We'll have Flowis, Hellfire, and Scram really taking it by the reins and giving it a good shake.
Ne kazati je vas merch razprodan. Kaj je moj merch, da je razprodan?
I wonder how many points they are at now, because we're barely even behind. You were mentioning it, Clay, but we'll tune in with them in just a sec.
Važno je spet na stran pozabil sem. O moj bog. Ko sem zdaj to pozabil? A sem vam tle. Reprezent, točen.
Haven't locked in their spot inside the top 5. Looking very good on Storm Surge damage. Have a long way to go, though. This is the max pull they're looking at, but they have a pad. It makes things very simple. An early one, too, so no team ahead should really be looking just yet. Some teams behind getting a little bit greedy with the timing. Saba comes in first. His teammates should just roll by. Ethan took a few pump shots and breaks his legs on the way in. Scrams by himself as a result of that fight.
In tle ne zgleda, kakor da.
Huge on points. 11 extra this gameplay. That puts them at 139 right now in total. But he's all by himself, and I haven't seen him clutch today like this before.
Scram, one of the oldest names in EU Fortnite, really needs to come up big.
Ne, kva je razprodan?
To get some clutch plays, but when Rezon is getting an elimination there on the Saba, who we just talked about, 6th place, coming into this game, this is a tall order for Scram.
Mene zgleda, da je razprodan.
They have to both survive.
Kaj, lik kar je Rezo dobil 2 kila. Ja, GG, zdaj nisem videl.
Of Taysona, Chapix and Rezon.
Magic number.
Scram pa te tudi rabijo umre čim prej, zaradi Taysona.
Make this a 20-point game. He'll definitely catch up to Mustache. He'll catch up to that 147 mark and maybe even pass
Farzone je dobil.
for sure secure this team inside the top
Ma pad, ma 2 pada, mislim, da, kar je dober. Hyde spet Trulex. Drugo igro zapored.
All the way in the mid-ground. Potasai is looking alongside Reason to move towards the next zone.
Mongrel trio, še cel trio živ. Pa čuvam, da Mongrel trio še klača zadnji 2 igri. Kako še vedno lahko pride top 5, ne?
6th place only has 1 player up as well. It's going to be tidy. They have
tudi Ulika so na 6. mestu, je sam še en živ, to je zelo dober. Mislim, da je to Ulik, kaj prej kazal. Scram.
Surge is going to show, but I don't know if they're above quite yet.
Ali pa tale, ne, tale je 6. verjetan. Ja, te so 6. Te so 6. Evo, Taysonov trio na levi strani, oziroma desni, no. Levi strani zona. Pa mislim, da so dobili tam kill spet, ker je bil en nokan še. Scram še vedno živ. Scram ne sme preveč klačati. Ja, Scram bo dead. Scram je dead. To je dober za Taysona. To je zelo dober. Mongrel je bil laseran, Mongrel dead. Mongrel dead, kje pa Joe, pa je sam nokanje, kje sta pa Joe pa... Kje sta Joe pa... Veno je tudi dead. Oj, zelo slabo za Mongrela. Samo še Joe je živ.
Ref's guard picking up a few eliminations in that feed. That height fight still continues. Mark going down, so is Arius. Fremont gets his first name into the feed, but Tidy is still up. 119 points.
Tidy še kar živ. On mora čim prej umreti. Joe je dead, rip Mongrel. To je to za kval, ne morajo, ni šans. Tidy mora umreti čim prej, ker oni so 6. Kodmajster še kar živ. Kodmajster še kar živ. Reason je dobil kill na Henu, let's go. A to pomeni, da so šli na height? Maybe to pomeni, da so šli na height?
Right now, they are doing what seems to be the impossible, seems to find any angles that they can just squeeze their way on through. The zone for now is going to give a bit of reprieve. It's going back. They have time to pop shield. They can get back up to fighting HP, but with one build, what can they do? High ground was taken and was slain. They were taken down, unfortunately.
Ne, niso šli, okej, sorry, niso šli na height. Ampak so še vsi živi. Nate's dead. Tidy še kar živ, what? Pa 360 buildov ima še. Tayson low, Tayson se mora healat. En je prišel v box. Nice, lep kill. Zdaj imajo veliko več killov. 6 killov, mislim. Največ killov do zdaj so imeli 6. Ali pa 7, mislim da 6. Ja, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 6 so imeli, ja. Zdaj imajo spet 6, zdaj imajo dosti več killov, ker so low ground. Nice, to je 7 killov. Ajde, imate to. Tole je igra top 3, pa so kvalili po moje, da skoraj garantirano. Da, pa te so še zmer živi. Hajt čopajo. Dejansko vsi so še trio ti. Niso še top 3, top 4 so. Tyson bo dead. Čapik je samo še živ. Možno Čapik. Škoda. Ampak so bili tretji, mislim da. Mislim, da so bili tretji, kar je dober. Dober game, danes dober igrajo. Nimajo enega insane game, ampak so konstantni. Še enako ga je. Link, Fury, pa te so zmagali. Ajo, vsi GG so chat, vsi GG so chat. Mislim, da je Tyson skoraj da zihar kvalu, če se ne motam. Bomo pogledali zdaj, bomo pogledali. Tyson je prvi! To pa nisem pričakoval. Se vidi, da konstantno igrajo. Lejte njihov average placement, 5,20. Pač drugi, 9, 5, 7, 3. To je lepo videti. Konstanto je lepo videti. Nice. Ja. Ni šans, da... Pač fora je, da morajo vsi teli, ki so tukaj, se pravi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, se pravi teli, ki so tle, morajo... Ja, nemogoče je. Oni so prišli naprej. Nemogoče je. Nemogoče, da padajo. Zato je, ker tu če imaš 10 kill win, je to 20, je to 45 pointov. In to še vedno ni dost, da jih ujamejo sploh. Tako da, Tyson je v velikem finalu. Let's go. Še ena igra je zdaj. Tako da zdaj bomo gledali za druge, kdo bo kaj prišel naprej. Mali boga pa te so drugi, ja, te bojo tudi, te so tudi že naprej. Edini, ki loše padajo. Čeprav, ni nujno v bistvu, zadnja igra je. Karteli vsi tukaj lahko izrinajo, ne? Te vsi tukaj komot izrinajo. Mali bukaj in mali guta pol 5, recimo, če so da 150, pa ima te pol. Mongrel pa je... Aqua je 11. Pač Aqua ima šanso do... 10 kill win rabijo, pa še to ne bo dost. Oni rabijo, te rabijo zmagati s full killi, da lahko kvalajo. Direkt naprej. Pač vsi, te dva morata oba vinati, te trije morajo vsi vinati, če hočejo imeti sploh šanso, da so top 5. Potem, ka ta še teli ne rabijo lih vinati, so dost blizu tako. Kinzel je že v velikem finalu, ja? Zakaj imam naslov finale? Zato, ker to je finale qualifierja 2. Se pravi, Forda ima tako. Vsak FNCS ima qualifierje, ja? Qualifier 1 je bil prejšnji teden, imaš rundo 1, rundo 2, pol tretja runda, ki je v bistvu polfinale in četrta runda, ki je finale. Ja? In to je finale qualifierjev. To ni finale celega FNCS-a. Ja? Ampak jaz ne moram dati to naslov FNCS Qualifier 2 finale, ker je čist predolg naslov. Jo, žanjere. Trulex je 15. Jimke je zdaj 17. Ja, pač tle so zmagali, pa tale igra je najbolj bila tako, ne? Ker oni bi imeli lahko zdaj komod 100 točk, pa še šanse. Ampak ja, prejšnji igra so slabo odigrali. Ampak glavno, da... Pored, da so prejšnji igri tudi slabo odigrali zaradi tega, kar se je prej zgodilo, ker so bili vsi živčni. Če sem čisto iskren. Kaj ne? Kva ne? Babič pa Berlinjo. Pa Jufko.
Yeah, I'm very nervous. Like, I'm very nervous because we've seen such tight on other regions. We've seen it where it's come down to tiebreakers. It came down to a tiebreaker in OCE. We saw it last week where it came down to a tiebreaker for Tayson's team, who are currently in first place. It's gonna get intense. You know, Shayo, Clay, please, you know, just keep me calm through all of this. Right? I'm gonna struggle to stay calm throughout all of this because.
Ne vem, kva si zdaj začel. Ne vem, kva si zdaj začel, ampak Marinko je izgubil moderatorja, isto Babič. Mene zanima. Brijo tu ne še bo. Razen, če to rejto kao od Briljota. Ampak, če ne obrazložite, lej, me sploh ne zanima. Me sploh ne zanima. Če bo Čapik s Tysonom, prej še ne vem se jaz. Ja, bili so Čapik s Tyson pa Veno, če se ne motam. Če se ne motam. Ja, čaki, Matic Arpin je tudi ne napisal. Alo, kaj bo? Ne, qualifierjev 3 pa ne bo to sezono. To sezono sta bila sam 2, ker je full bedna. A ne, Rizon, Tyson, Veno so bili, opa, sorry. Čapik se zamenil Venota, ja, sorry. Sorry. Nač, dajte srčko v chat. Ne, zdaj ne rabim Tyson več srčko, ne. Hvala so, tako da. A vsem, zadnja igra. Member oil chat, gremo.
Right now, it's about to get heavy. I mean, the tie, I can see it. It's there, and every point, every elim will matter.
Okay, kako ješ v replay, kaj kako?
Right now in front of you, but who's gonna take it? Who's going to walk through that door and say, you know what, that's my top 5. I am here. Look at Nick, Daisy, and Sky looking uncontested. Flois, Hellfire, and Scram looking good, uncontested as well. It seems like everybody in the top seems to be uncontested yet again. But we've seen that doesn't particularly matter this time.
Juvko pa baš bi rada, da jo še removam na Discordu za frenda.
Everybody that needs and is relevant right now is outside, inside the top 10. That top 5, everybody obviously fighting for series points as well. But that top 5 is
Brilno, kaj upaš, da bo naslednji let FNCS?
All the way down to 101 points.
Kaj upaš, da naredijo? Ne sam mod, ampak tako. Skozi en mod, ali ne, ali kaj bi, ker mod. Not bad, moraš iti na competitive pa pod turnir. Session leaderboard, pa tam klikneš.
We'll talk about the top 5 we have right now because even inside there, I mean, Claire explained all the different stakes. The stakes for them are super different, right? Look at that, Stacey, Skype, Nate.
Jaz tudi upam, da bo mešano sam. Zakaj imam občutek, da ne bo mešal? Kljub temu, da se folk ful protožo, da izko se eno isto cel let, da ni dober. Imam občutek, da ne tega ne upam, no. Brijo, meni so tudi zdaj trioti boljši. Prej sem hodil duote, zdaj pa ne. Je dejansko zabavno ratal.
Clashing over and over again, and are both also running out of fuel in those vehicles. One above them, Verstash, Malabuka, Shizo. They're kind of like athletes that have been hot, ready, nice, stretched out the whole day.
Skoro me disko boljše, ker ne zdom. Na verzi, nimam ti kaj poslat. Greš pod competitive in... Až kaj ti pošlam? Jaz nem šel igra, pa ti probo najdat. Greš pod competitive, tam, kjer imaš turnirje, kjer greš na turnir in imaš tam session leaderboard. In imaš session leaderboard in klikneš sam na tistega, ki hočeš gledat in daš watch in to je to. Ko bo do World Cup, dobro, to ni bad drugače, ampak nekaj je bilo dobro, da World Cup bi bil trio zdaj, ker takrat je bil že duo, da sem vas veril sam, nekaj je bilo tudi tako, kakor nostalgija, ne spet končno duo, pa World Cup duo. Imagine, da naredijo še trio se stran. Snazy dead.
Snazy's gotta be careful. Soda's making plays. Hen gonna go down. Dave tried to make strides for that top 10, 15.
Brijo ni edini, ki lahko umre proti Slovnu mogoče. Ne vem več, kdo je ta prav. Ni ta prav ga dobo.
The true one with that mythic burst AR. But already, just look at how much ammo they have. Like they're already setting themselves up for greatness.
It's huge, and everyone's really going all in with it. So many early game strats are isolated. So many fights themselves as well leave people with full finishes, right? No one really has to go for any big revivals.
Babić bi res rad bil tepen.
Just saw that quick silence screen that we've seen in EU overall inside, you know, just in general in round 4. So we're looking at things today. It seems like everyone's got their strategies locked in. They're going and fully finishing all these fights. And earlier on being a lot more isolated, going for their own strats. But we saw how big Surge is as a result, right, Clay? Lots of teams also struggling there.
Evo me nazaj, imel sem trening prej. Trening? Na dela je, what? Trening imate v nedeljah. A si ti imel svoj trening, tako sam si naredil malo.
It's huge for them, a nice pedestal to move in with. Because remember, they're tied right now with 3rd place. That's Floki, Clement, and Deceptos.
They've got time as well. It seems like already looted every building.
Tvoj si že jedel kmečko pico. In kakšna je to? Ampak zih mi ne bila dobra. Za full zbirčen. Veno je knock od Truleksa. Saj, kjeri so Trulex? Pozval sem pogledat. Kjeri so Trulex pa te?
How many players are still looting where they've landed at? Holly still being looted.
Ja, 15.
Still being looted. Pleasant.
GG za Trulexa.
But I believe that was a fight that was happening there.
Hicih boja.
To find some shots over on a team at Stealthy Stronghold, but Karma, again, you talked about, they're one of those teams. They are on the bubble. They're 6th place. They need to perform.
Kjeri so 6. A Karma pa te so 6.
I said they can't really miss another
Yeah,
game after that.
6.
So in the last game, they got a 5th with 5 elims. All their other games have been outside the top 10, a 20th, a 12th, a 15th. Now is the time to really lock it in. Have 2 good games back to back.
Ili rabijo dobro igrat,
They haven't done that.
da pridejo naprej.
Every time they have a good game, it's followed by maybe 1 or maybe
Dajmo navijati za njih, hajde. Zato, ker so blizu, da kvalajo, da bo zanimiv. Za Zendajo. Zendaja, Karma, pa Ivar.
I don't really care as much for the moment. Because these guys are still right on that line. It's 4 points behind Snazy, Sky, and Nate. And they land on the complete opposite side of the map.
Okay, Arks, okay, nice. Pa kar je evropski prvak si, GG.
Maybe they even switched up their spot, trying to qualify all the way towards the end. But another team to focus on too.
A oni gol dobijo tle. Mi smo probavali, nič golda ne dobiš s temi challenge, kva?
But they're here. They're one of the risky spots. They're contested overall. And overall, they're 7th place right now, Clay.
I just don't know for these teams that are outside the top 5, which one of them has the experience and has that momentum to string together the game they need.
I mean, it might not be Sabas and Hesitums. They have to basically do what they've never done before, and that's be inside the top 5. They've come 8th, 10th,
Revs got that.
A lot. That's very good and consistent.
Živijo Tixon? Jo.
Here's Saba by himself for the moment.
Da je si cringe, ko imaš Fortnite slikca prav, Viško? Ne, to zih ne bi jedel na odverzi, jaz.
And Hellfire just got an elimination, which I'm not sure where. They were pretty uncontested at Lazy and all around, so someone rotating in, causing a little bit of havoc, but that's better for them. That's great for them. That's 2 eliminations for them. They, again, are 4th place. They, like
Kalnada je dobil 3, GG.
They need these.
That was the Bodhi Burbs fight that was breaking down. Krusty, I believe, took out a lot of the people that used to be landing there. Maybe that Bodhi team moved over somewhere near Lazy Lake. At the same time, Lazy...
Tole je že dost manj stackan game tale zadnji. Prav vice, da unika so že full zadnji, da se ne trudijo več. Pogledaj, Tyson je prvi. Tyson je definitivno v velikem finalu.
I think Tidy actually has a very good loadout compared to what he usually has. They're landing on the north side of that big Cami split, and they get a little bit of the
to je nice.
As they move around. But at the same time, the last team to talk about, Pro.
Isti, v čem si državni prvak?
I mean, Clay, they've been popping off in the end game when they make it there overall.
Čak, te imajo tudi še šanso kvalat. Te imajo tudi še šanso.
Either or for these guys. Either make an end game, get 6 with really good elim counts, right? 7 or 4. Or they get a 27th or outside top 10. And right now they have 2 outsides and 3 in the actual money, right? So if we're following patterns, they might not make it into this end game, but they have to break it.
I I think my best analogy is, you know, in your kitchen, you have that one knob that sometimes is hot, sometimes is cold. You turn it on, and it's kind of like, which temperature water am I gonna get today? And that's kind of how we're here with them. Are they gonna be hot? Are they gonna be cold in this final game? They need to be hot. We need them to be. They need themselves to be. But are they going to be?
Ok, unfazed, ok. V karateju. Nice. A sploh veliko folka drugače. V karateju, tako iskreno sprašujem, ker me res zanima, ko je karate, ki je sploh popularen. Fucking unfazed, no day. Bombar.
More than likely will not see Surge in that third zone. 72 players up. This is going to be different.
Teh lahko dere, ali?
Going to have the same amount of shots to rely on.
And players also won't have the update of how much damage they've done, so it might be even harder for that fifth zone. That's a very good point. You're talking about the knob in the kitchen, or you know, on a faucet, you're not sure what happens. But these guys too, I feel like they're kind of moths to a flame that sometimes fly too close to it, or kind of like Icarus with the wings.
Te je bil na olimpijskih igrah. Ja, in ko ima to veze s Slovenijo, koliko je popularen kaj v Sloveniji?
We saw it versus Malabuka's team. They lost the player, had to get him back. For Crow, it's all about restraint in this game. That being said, we can analyze and talk about, you know, teams have to do this differently, that differently. When teams change up their strategy, that might already be their demise. Sometimes it's about locking in, playing aggressive again, taking the big risk. If you change up the entire way you play, you're in a whole new game, and usually that...
Saj, teli sta že kvala, po moje skoraj zihar, ali? Ja, še 3 kile sta imeli to igro. Te 3 kile so jim ful pomembni.
It just makes it that much more difficult and that harder for players to make that decision of, yeah, we need to make a change. Yeah, we've got to play a little bit differently. Those little micro differences are easier. Just say, hey, let's not rotate this way this time. Let's go over here. Let's look for shots over there. But speaking of differences, Scram, Hellfire, Flois came into this game 142
Not bad,
points. They're currently sitting 153, making their way up the leaderboard. Snazy, Sky, and Nate, they came in.
Ma zihar vem, o kom govoriš, never mind.
5 points given out for placement have already been there for everybody, but 153 would put them over second place right now. So that they would take...
Definitely would. At the same time, the second place team is alive and getting the same placements as these guys are.
On je pa tak meme model. Johnny Sins. To je pa največji meme, presežem.
While every other team
Presežem.
to try to salvage their game, you know, the infamous Mega and Dubs clip of, we just kind of need a 20 bomb and we should be fine. And that's kind of what they used to do in those World Cup days over and over again. If everyone's trying to do that, if Snazy, Sky, and Nate just sit on the mountain, pick apart those teams, throw a few pot shots every now and then, they get to be up good on Surge like they are now. Cosmic Chest also available for them if they want to end up taking it. And Ristrado might be the next person that Snazy, Sky, and Nate target. Remember, you want to be playing the same way as you were in any other one. If this is an advantageous isolated fight, if you have a 2v3 already set and ready, it's next to the right side of the zone and no one else is there, it might be the best fight to take. Unfortunately, there is a team already on the hill looking at Ristrado's team overall. So they'll just pick up Snazy and be on their way.
What I'm worried about for Snazy, Sky, and Nate is that they
not Berzi,
don't have the pop-off potential.
Chill, no, s tem izdele.
Yes, they've played a consistent game, but
Ne to pobrište zdele.
There's pop-off with Karmas.
Najbolj da vam to v chatu na koncu.
There's pop-off with Tidy.
To zdaj, ko ste membri malo bolj dead.
Below them that have that factor of we can win a game
Ramo
on
tega.
a moment's notice. Nate, Snazy, and Sky, while they do, it's a very slow-paced game. It's a very, I'm going to just outlast you on low ground. And what we've seen is that the teams above them are better at doing that. So where do they fit in this puzzle of we're top 5, but we're not comfortable.
Tiho XT.
For them, the comfort comes in elims, and there's so many teams alive usually in the end game that are available to give you those eliminations. The big thing about this game...
Imajo celo Surge. Sem mislil, da ne bo Surgea prvega.
These teams have already been eliminated. The end game will be a little less stacked than usual. Teams will be playing very differently too, so they're not going to find the same elims on the same layers. They always have one person clutching too. This time, all three of them kind of have to stay alive, stay secure, and get ready to go because elims will be a lot tougher to find in the 6th game.
Only 85 damage above Karmas and Dea and Aware seem to always be in this
Teli
position.
definitivno rabijo, srč tega Zendaja po te.
Continue to be above, and they're going to have to. Look at their rotation coming.
Sam lej, Teli v spodi te KPI tudi lahko še vedno kvalajo. Pa so zelo dober srč, 400 above.
A very central push, but they need to go for more than that. 23 above. The teams damaging them are the ones that are below surge. They do get some more tags in return, but 67 is still not safe. Nobody has gone down. So we pointed out that 72 players were up when that first initial talk about surge happened. No one has gone down. No one has been rebooted. Everyone
Kdo je pa od surgeom? Kjer tim? O, ok, Teli, Zendaja pa te so zdaj below. 8 below.
They have to stay up, but who is not up? It's gonna be in Zendaya.
Ok, zdaj so above nazaj.
A swing of damage.
Kdo je tim, ki ni above? Ja, nej. Zakaj jih ne pokažejo, oni, ki so below?
And they need to stay alive. They have the biggest advantage against all other teams right now, Clay, Aware, and Zendaya. They have a victory royale under their belts. So when it comes to tiebreakers, which it has previously in EU, which it has previously this week on OCE and across the entire world, having a win under your belt is huge.
O, Zendaya double
It
kill.
might be worth for anyone to even try to take this team out if they're close by, force that fight, because who knows? Even if Stacey, Skite, and Nate end up popping off, if Karma's right beside them with that win, there's nothing they can really do unless they themselves.
Jih te pušajo, ali? A ne, ok. Zdaj jih pušajo. Niso dovolj finisha.
The hard mats, the metal, right there. That's huge. They back up with the ammunition as well. A nice refresh for the team.
I don't know if they're done backing off. It looks like they are, but they're still looking because they know Milad was hurt. They know that damage was dealt there, and again, they know they need to go for more eliminations. They've got to be very careful though.
So double kill, okay, so double kill.
It's going to be scary. It is going to be awkward because that team will come in. They will push from the other side, and then.
Olej, to igral pa je igral 33 timov. Prej vem, da je bilo 31 sam. Nova je dobil knock. Imagine, da Janis sploh ne pride v velike finale. Imagine. Imamo dva Slovenca spet v velikem finalu, chat. To je nice. To je full nice. O, Nate je knockan. Kako imajo oni pik, Nate pa te? Te pokažite nam njih. Evo jih. O, oni tudi, ja. Oni morajo dobro odigrati tudi. Oni imajo tudi rizik zdaj, da izgubijo. Jinke je dobil kill. Jinke je tudi mrtev. Pa tako je umrl. Mislim, da je od Jinketa 3, cel 3 dead. Ako je dobil kill?
And remember, for Snazy, they have a team right beside them on tiebreaker territory that has a win. So they might need to win this game.
GG's only. Samo GG's za Jinketa. Vodili double kill.
Launch pad, it seems like no, they're going to go for the peppers, and I like that save. That pad for that next zone. Honestly, this is a very awkward rotation right into high ground in the open field. I like that they're burning their materials here because it's so risky what they're doing. Luckily for them,
to je bil lep rotation, noč jih niso tegali. Mongralo v trio je še cel trio živ. Imagine, da klačejo. 20 kill win. Anže, da je euro. Jao, kako smo? Ej, Anžek, jaz sem super. Hvala ti za 1 euro. Kako si ti, Anžek? Kako si? Aj si ti member drugač? Nisem zigar. Ali nisi več? Jao, Jack. Tako da vem, če ne noš mogu napisati, kako si, ampak hvala ti. Hvala ti, Ligina, za 1 euro. O, Teli imajo tu. Chat! Velik triatov ima šanso še da kvalajo, pač. Pa da eni ne kvalajo. Dost triatov mora še poklačati. To bo zelo zanimivo. Kako ti ne dela na odberzi? Kaj je skor, poleg Taysona in Kinsla, kdo je tak dober znan slovenski Fortnite player? Ja, a kdo je v finalu, ali kaj? Prav, v velikem finalu sta razbedno Sign Kinsel pa Tayson, čeprav ne. Luša je bil enkrat tudi v velikem finalu. Luša je tudi že bil, mislim, da. Ne vem, Omega pa Luša sta po moje... Moja dva, ki sta še izmed teh zelo dobro replacejo.
you are what everyone's focused on in this game. If they see, hey, I know I just took down Crow, they were in 8th place, that's going to secure a little bit more.
Vem, Arx, vem.
Just a little bit more comfort.
Zelo slabo. A ja, svicam sej. Luša je bil, ja.
Nope, we're going a little bit more south. That plays very well for Snazy and Crow. Karma though has a full rotation. The yellow arrows you see.
Rizen je dobil knock. Vem, da Taysona trio zdaj še zmagala, postane on top. GG. Ko meni piše, da zaradi varnostnih razlogov naredim, da moram na en email pisati, pa piše mi, pa bot odpiše. Ja, verjetno moraš kaj napisati, ne vem kaj moraš napisati, ampak sej bot ti verjetno odpiše, kaj moraš narediti.
That's smart. Here is kind of 5th and 8th, the upper echelon of the top 5. Or I guess the bottom part. Now they're in 4th. That's insane. Snazy, Skite, and 8th are kind of holding the line as to who can really qualify for the finals.
So 4th, 5th, and 8th are all right near each other in this game. Everybody is on top of each other. If one team makes a mistake, if one team goes a little bit too
Isti dejansko ne vem, kdo bi bil tretji v Sloveniji. Pač Taysona prvi, ja, Kin za drugi. Ja, tretji je, ja, Luša ali pa Omega, po moje Luša, a? A ima Luša več, ki je šel solo tih, ne vem, I guess.
To continue to see, but 1st through 11th still being up in this game, it's really anybody's.
Not bad, to ti ne znam pomagati, res ne. Po njom. Tohaj.
Snazy, Nate and Skite gonna be on the hot seat.
Mislim, zdaj ne več, ali? A je še vedno največ naredil tako od vseh. Mislim, ja, I guess, Tohaj je tudi dost, ja. Tohaj, ja, kljub temu, da se je retiral. A ni on neki nazaj kao počel, pa je zdaj nehal? Ampak ja, Tohaj bi bil tretji, ja, definitivno. Če gledamo all time.
Going back and forth, trying to decide. Nate looking
for definitivno, ja.
Trying to find one there as well. Maybe able to skirt around the backside, and I think that's what they're going to do. Peppers are dropping.
Zato kaj sem že čisto pozabil, s kom je on igral, pa kdaj je playsal tako. A je on solo tih kaj playsal, sploh se ne spomnim. Alo. V duo tih.
Much more scary, that much more risky. You have to be careful around the edge of zone. They continue to go.
Zato kaj sem razmišljal prej, sam pa ga nisem omenil. Sem rekel pač on ne igra več, ne? Sam ja, če gledamo overall.
Almost out of the game. What can Deceptos do? Can they clutch up? Can they find anything?
Ili rabijo klačati, jep. Taysona je dobil knock. Eto, Rizon Taysona pa te bo imel zdaj full killov, presežem. Zdaj so sproščeni, vejo, da so naprej. Zdaj bo pop-offal. Nate pa te so below surge. Oni rabijo dober igrače, da za zihar kvalajo, ker ni še zihar. Pabrina, on je bil četrti v 3 MCS-u. Jaz se tega sploh spomnim, ne, what? S kom je igral? Skite je dead. Sam še Snazy je živ. Snazy mora čim več točk prova dobiti. Čim več. A čakaj, Nate je še živ. Dva sta še živa, ne oba, no. God. Umor je od Storma. Mongrel dead. Pa ta Ivar, jaz sem kar Ivar klical. Tu trab klačat zdele. Nate je dobil še en kill, mislim da. Čapik se dead. Ako ga je dobil? Nate je dead, pa dobil ga je Tajdi, ka tu trap, klačat. Jo, vedno je drugače živ. Taysona je tu če živ. Tyson dobil kill. Reason knockan, sam še Tyson. Nate je dead. To smo... Tale Sabajo more tudi klačati, čeprav možno, da so že. Na solatko igra. God kill? O moj bog. A Taysona je on ubil? No, to je veze, oni so kvalali. Čakaj, kako pa ti smo rekli, da lahko klačajo, če imajo samo, če imajo na enko kilov, a ne? 10 kilov, ali pa še več, sam ja. 5 kilov imajo? Ja, ne morajo. Nemogoče je. 5 kilov imajo samo.
It might just be out of grasp, but who knows if they get these eliminations in the Victory Royale, it might be enough. CR has been sent down. Aqua healing up.
Aqua dead.
Aqua gonna take a lot of damage, but he didn't do enough. Back gonna go down. CRR will fall momentarily.
Mali Buka trio so zmagali.
Who secure the Victory Royale again.
Ajde, dejte vsi, GG so chat, Tyson je 100% na kvalu. Preden sploh pogledamo. Ajde, vsi GG so chat, da pogledamo zdaj lestvico, kdo je kvalil, koliko je bilo bliz. Ajde, da vidimo. Igro je sa Savageom squade. Okej. Pač ful sem pozabil, drugač, ker to je že toliko dolg nazaj. Zato haja. A jo, prvi so bili na konc, Mali Buka, Tyson so bili drugi na konc. Flow nada, Hell nada, Skran so bili tretji. Tidi pa te so klačali, so bili četrti. Floki, Clemente, Sipto so na konc. Komi prišel naprej, spet je bil tiebreaker. In so oni komi, da prišel naprej. A bili so prej na vrhu, imajo srečo. Snazy, Skite, Nate, žal, to je najslabš. Tako je Tyson prejšen teden bil 6. To je najslabš. Aqua v tej 9. Paul, Jimke je bil 17. Hen, Rezgar, Trulek so bili 18. Janis samo 40, zelo slabo so igrali. Sploh niso nič dubali, balka ne. Nič niso dubali. Kjer je pa Mongral zdaj? Mongral je bil pa na konc. Mongral je na konc bil... 11. Na koncu še dosti klačal, ampak ja, še vedno. Še vedno. Ne, Babič, ne vem če. Kje si igral? GG's, chat. GG's. GG's only. Tole je bilo dosti hiter konc, chat. Ful malo pauze je bilo vmes. Tole je dejansko trajal 3 ure. Dejansko 3 ure. Tiho gral. Wow, Patrik. Lahko please poveš, kako vete tako dobro landat Catty? Ja, drop map imaš. Da veš, kje moš glider odpret. Tyson se bliže 4. FNCS-u. Kva? A da zmaga, ali kaj? Ne, maybe. Kako se to imenuje, kako se... Drop map, D-R-O-P-M-A-P, se to lahko po netu malo naraba, sam svoje narediš. Tako, igraš kaj Valoranta, zdaj le zelo malo. Kdaj je no act? No act bom definitivno igral. A zdaj jutr, chat, jutr imamo event. Jutr ob 4 bo stream, kjer bo 30 € dodatna ura streama. Mojo community napisal točno preverjati, da bo folk vedel. Tam bom igral veliko različnih špilov. Jutr je da gaš 3 FNCS ob 7. Pač to mislim, da bo dosti, da bomo še tisto čez streamali. Začel bom z 1 uro, več ne. Bo kakor bo. Tako da to. Ob 4 bom jutr začel, Berlin, ob 4 bom začel. Z 1 uro začnem. Če v 0 donacij, jebi ga. Vse to za maso, se strinjam. Cash cup, ja. A sem kaj drugega rekel? A sem rekel FNCS, mislil sem reči cash cup. V mislih sem imel cash cup. Nate Qual, kva Nate Qual? Ne, niso Qual Aloni. 6 so bili. Sam kvalali so. Pač, mislim, zdaj v finalu imaš garantiran denar, ne? Če najdem samo. V finalu imaš garantiran denar. To sta 2 sešna, to še ni nič. Da vidim, če bom najdel. Evo, finale. Da vam zdaj povem. Sprav, finale je denar, se pravi, vsi, ki so že v velikem finalu, imajo garantirano $1200. Na igralca, $1200 na igralca. Tisti, ki zmaga, ima 100 jurjev na playerja. Tako da ja. Tako da ja. Cheater je Sabajo. Ko veste, da je cheater, kako je lahko finale igral? Če so že prej vedeli, da je cheater. Glej, od koga? Od Jurekija tweet. Kako ima on? Tako. A je to on? Zakaj misli, da heka drugače? Mislim, nisem videl, no? A res heka ali ne? Zdaj sem ga razlizal pa čepik sem, ja. Sabajo. A te li kao heka? A ta kao heka ali kaj? Sabajo. Mislim, Vrningov definitivno nima velik. Ampak. Ja, te placementi prej niso toliko dobri v primerjavi zdaj s temi, ki jih ima to sezona. Koga veste, da heka, kdo ve? Pač kako, a so kaj pogledali ali... A so gledali? Ja, ki je rekel, da bo kvitu drugače. In to je danes Jureki napisal. Ja, samo to je samo on napisal. A je še kakšen drug napisal? Lej, to je samo en player, ki je rekel, moramo videti več, tole je zdaj le malo. Abi, to je pa res, ja, to je pa res. To je trend, tisti, ki kvitajo, grejo čitati, to je trend, ja. To zdaj ful vidimo. Tudi od Slovenca. On prav, da pej triple gledati. Ne vem, lej, mogel bi videti, itak bi mogel videti. A je res ali ne? Notor ga je gledal na solo cash cupu. Ja, in kako je tam zgledal? Babič, ne vem, če si zaslužaš, nekaj boš mogel narediti, da si zaslužaš. Pač so v tem. Da, lej, jaz nič nam rekel, ker ne vem tukaj. A nač folk. Ne, nič ne bom šel gledat. Jaz bom tukaj zaključil. Jutr ob 4 po pol ta event bom zdaj naredil thumbnail pa vse, ok? Alerte moram narediti take Halloween. To je to. Hvala vsem, ki ste gledali, pa se vidimo jutr ob 4. Ok, folk? Mada, vsi stisnete like za premiero, ko bo čez kakšne pol urce, ok? Ajde, čau, folk.